There we go. Looks like we're live. I hope we are. Yeah, looks like we're live. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to KJ's What Happened YouTube channel. Excuse me. I'm your host, KJ. And tonight, we get some really cool stuff to check out. I mean, really cool. If I may say so myself. I found really some of the best I could find, even some that I remember from the past, some new ones, clips and stories to share. You're welcome. I love doing it. But yeah, I'm actually excited to check these out with you guys. Glitch in the Matrix videos and stories. It's going to be a good time, man. So how are you? How are you doing? How's life for you? How was your week? Hope everything went well. How's your plans for the weekend? You got anything big planned? All right, good. Well, hopefully part of your plan is hanging out with us tomorrow right here on YouTube, 2 p.m. Central Standard for KJ's What Happened update, the weekend update. And there's definitely plenty to get into there. Even at least one new video on the Panama Meteor Boy story, if you guys remember that one. Still developing, right? There's still things happening there. Still hadn't been exposed as a hoax or anything either yet, so that's good. So we'll see where that goes. Oh yeah, dropped a brand new video today. Living Life in the Saturnalian Beast System Matrix 2025. Please check it out if you haven't. It's here on YouTube. It's also on all my other sites. Speaking of those, somebody even mentioned, I used to add the music videos to my, and that's something I just started maybe a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago or something. And when I was doing all my videos off YouTube. And if you didn't know, I've got so many videos out there, man. Just go check out Rumble under KJ Osborne with a Z. Also, BitChute, I'm over there under KJ Osborne. And on Odyssey as well. Odyssey is still called the scariest movie ever. So you can check out Odyssey, but I only put videos there. Everything I do goes on all the other sites though. And I'll be doing music. I do music videos off. I did one called The Fastest Growing Religion at the End of the World, I guess a month ago or so. Did another one about New York City, Babylon several weeks back, but that was just, that wasn't one that, I don't know. It could have been bigger, but it was really the main point I was trying to get across, that I do believe it's getting close to that money magic manifesting and what we see coming from New York City. So even on that note, I really hope you're staying close to Christ in these days. And if you haven't accepted that free gift of salvation, I really hope and pray that you do. It's the most important decision in every human's life, even though a lot of people don't take it seriously. They never even actually kind of choose, but in that way they actually chose, right? So it's either a yes or a no. Do I want to spend my eternity in heaven, or do I want to be separated from all that's good, light, loving, and suffer in hell? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And there's only 2 places, man. That's it. And the only way to get to heaven is through Jesus. So please choose that free gift. Not trying to scare you, but you should be a bit concerned, man. We're living in crazy times. Truly the craziest right now, but it's going to get crazier. The craziest stuff we've seen, our generation, other generations. I mean, it's been nuts. It's because it's getting really close to the tribulation, the final 7 years. So please choose Jesus, all right? I'll just say that. So what else? I'm going to give it a few more minutes here. And good to see you guys, man. Gina, Jolanta, Daryl, Jamo, Billy, Tamra, of course, my friend. Justin Bundy, thanks for the snacks for Chubbs, my friend. Truly always appreciate it, man. Daryl Calhoun's here. Skellworks is here. Mandroid. I mean, look at this crowd. Christine, good to see you. Kava, gotta have Kava. AJ. Vanessa, Gina, good to see everyone, man. Thanks. All right, so yeah, we'll jump into it here in just a moment. Glitch in the Matrix Videos Stories 2025. Real quick, though, I wanted to tell you this is just something I wanted to share, just kind of like, behind the scenes stuff. But last night I started watching this TV series. It's been on for a few years. I never really gave it any notice. I thought just, seeing commercials or whatever, I thought it was going to be some wacky romantic comedy type stuff or something. I don't know. And that's really not my flavor, but then I saw a little clip about the guy that wrote the show, that's created it. And it turns out that he was actually a contestant on Survivor a few seasons back. And I'm a big, I worked in reality TV in Hollywood for several years, but I do like some reality TV, even still. I watch Survivor and Big Brother with my mom and dad. Like every week when it's on, I'll go over there and watch it with them. But there's some of my favorites right there. Anyway, it turns out this guy was a contestant on Survivor, and they'd mentioned that he was a writer in all this in Hollywood or something, but I don't think they ever talked about the projects. And of course, he didn't win. It's been a few years, or however long it's been since that season. And it turns out this guy created this series called The White Lotus. It's on HBO, The White Lotus. Never really paid it attention. Like I said, I'd seen some commercials. Didn't look like my thing. But I saw that clip and I was like, oh, that's really cool, man. And I liked that guy. I remember him being the contestant. And I was like, man, that guy was cool. I liked him. So I went ahead and checked it out last night, turned it on. It's 3 seasons. I guess I started the 3rd season without realizing it, but it's fine. So I started the 3rd season last night. And wowzers, really good stuff. I thought really, really good. Not at all what I expected, not what I thought. It's for an adult audience, I'll just say that. And there's not because there's not like tons of cussing and all that or crazy sex or anything, but it's just adult situations, and there's some characters there with some major flaws. Just very interesting character work. I got my degree in screenwriting myself, so I appreciate good writing, but just really, really well done. And it's even kind of a murder mystery. I didn't realize that. So, that adds another layer of intrigue. And I was like, wow, cool. So I'm already three episodes in, and I bet you I'll watch the 4th after the show tonight. So anyway, just throwing it out there. Sometimes I like to talk movies, TV shows. Some people like my suggestions. Some of you don't watch any of it at all. That's okay. But yeah, White Lotus. What a surprise. What a surprise. But yes, it's adult. It's more for the grown-ups, I'd say. But it's not even too bad, like I said. All right, I'll stop rambling about that. It's been a good few minutes. Let's jump into the show. And let's get this party started. Right here. So I got a good mix of... Oops, I knew I had that up there. What the heck's going on here? Hold on. There we are. So it's going to be a good mix of story time, really interesting stories, and clips too, some videos. Some of these is going to take you back. Now, some of these will take you back, and you'll remember these from a while back once you see these. But they're some of them more shocking, I think, and interesting out there that I've found. All right, so let's do it. Let's go ahead and get started. This is on TikTok. Spooky, scary story time, but they're talking about glitches in the Matrix and time slips.
The weekend, she always took the bus because she didn't have a car. She said story time from a girl named Jade who told me about a conversation that she had on a bus that was very strange and still leaves her unsettled. So she was on a bus going back from her parents' house. She was there for the weekend. She always took the bus because she didn't have a car. She said she had done that bus ride 1,000,000 times. It was about 2 hours away from where she lived. Regarding the background noise, my baby's over there tearing stuff up. Her bus left later in the evening, so it was already dark outside. There were only a few other passengers on the bus. She finds a window seat, plugs in her headphones, and kind of like conks out. She said she wasn't asleep, but it was like in and out of consciousness type thing, and she felt somebody sit next to her in the seat, like a weight had been put down next to her. So she opens her eyes and she sees a man sat down next to her. He says something. She takes her headphone out. She's like, what? He's like, do you mind if I sit here? She said she was 22 when this happened. He was significantly older, probably in his 50s. He had like silver gray hair, and he had a very distinct jawline. She said she would describe him as an attractive older man, but he was very like angular. So she's like, yeah, sure, sit down. And he's like, thanks. She puts her headphone back in. She's like kind of closing her eyes. She feels him tap her. So she opens her eyes again. She looks at him and he's like moving his mouth, but she can't hear what he's saying. So she takes her headphone out again. He's like, do you ever feel like things are perfect, like things aren't real? She's like, what? He's like, do you ever feel like things happen that shouldn't be possible, but nobody else notices? And she's like, what do you mean? And he turns fully to look at her and he's like glitches. She doesn't know what he's going on about. She thinks he's like on something. So she said, like, although she was like a little bit creeped out, she didn't want to be rude, but she just is like, yeah, sure, I guess. And like turns back to like put her headphone in. She doesn't even close her eyes and he's talking again. So she takes her headphone back out and he's like, yeah, I had a feeling you'd understand. She said he was very calm in the way that he spoke to her. And he's like, you see things that other people don't. You see the world flicker. You see the gaps. So she's just like, I guess this is what we're doing now. Doesn't even try to like listen to music again. She's like, I don't really know what you mean. He's like, yeah, you do. So she turns to fully look at him for the first time. She says she looked him in the eyes, but for some reason, even though she knows she like clocked him, like she looked at him fully, but it was like her brain was struggling to process the details of his face, if that makes sense. Like they were almost fluid. They were changing in front of her. She said at the time, she just attributed this to like when you look at somebody in a dark car, like it's going underneath streetlights, so there's light flickering on and off. And like she just thought that was
I'm going to pause so I can get rid of that. Okay, let me see.
what was going on and why she couldn't really process his face. So she's like, I'm not really following your conversation, to be honest with you. Like, what's your name? And he goes, I don't have a name that matters anymore. She's like, well, you said that I know what you mean. And to be honest with you, I don't. So he's like, well, I don't know that you know what I mean, but they do. And she's like, who is they? And he's like, the veil keepers. She's like, what? And he's like, yeah, like they're the ones that keep the illusion, that make sure that nobody notices when things shift. He's like, they're the ones that make sure that nobody knows when time rewinds or when people disappear and then they're rewritten. Then he tells her something along the lines of the world that she sees is not real. It's just a projection. It's a layer. Jade said she didn't know what to say at this point. She was fully creeped out. So she just says, well, that's insane. And he says, is it? He says, did you ever have a memory that nobody else remembers or have a moment in time that feels like it's stretching too long, like something is buffering? And this is all paraphrasing, but she said she distinctly remembers him saying something about time buffering. But it was this comment that made her throat go dry because she did have an experience like that. She remembered a store close to where she grew up. It was a supermarket that she remembered going to a lot as a kid with her mom. And that store apparently never existed. When she asked her mom where it went or what happened or why they closed down, her mom was like, there was never a store there. And she's like, yes, there was. I remember going to it. But her mom just told her basically that it was just like a childhood memory. She must be remembering another store. So this is what Jade thought of when this man is talking. Jade also had a feeling at this point that the time it took for him to say these words to her seemed to be like stretching. Like it didn't seem like normal conversation. It was like time slowed down. She also had this weird sense of deja vu, but she thought this was just her brain playing tricks on her due to the nature of the conversation. And then the man starts nodding as if he could read her thoughts. And he's like, yeah, the Veil Keeper, they maintain the script. They don't want you to notice. Jade said she just asked him, what does it matter if I do notice? At this point, the bus hits like a bump in the road or something, and they both jolt. The man looks around nervously, and he says, because if you notice, they start watching you. Jade says nothing. She's just trying to process what is going on when all of a sudden the bus's lights flicker. When the bus's lights come back on, he's not there anymore. She said there was a ringing in her ears like static, and it was like her vision blurred for a second. She said at this point, she swears she saw dark shadow-like figures standing all around the bus. Their limbs were wrong, stretched like shadows in the flickering light, and featureless faces that seemed to study her. The bus lurches again, her eyes come back to normal, and the ringing in her ears stops, and she can't see anything out of the ordinary. She looks around at the other passengers. Everyone's just going about their business, reading books, listening to music, asleep, nothing out of the ordinary. She grabs her phone, turns the front-facing camera on, and looks behind her, and she doesn't see anything out of the ordinary back there either. Her heart is racing. She's like, I must have just imagined all that. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm tired. When she comes up to her stop, she goes to the bus driver and she says, does this bus have security footage? And he says, yeah, but if you want it, you're going to have to contact corporate. He points to a number that's listed. He goes, call them. So she does the next day. There's a little bit of back and forth over the next week with this company, but eventually they do send her the footage because she lied to them and said that something was stolen from her on the bus. And she sees herself talking to no one next to her. But her blood ran cold because on the footage, after the bus lurched when it hit a bump, you see her move forward and then the video seems to glitch. For a split second, there seems to be a figure sitting beside her, but it's not human and it's a distorted shape, and then it's gone. She said she emailed the company back asking if they have any more footage because there's clearly a glitch in this footage, and they say it just must be a bug, we don't have anything else. She did send me the bus security footage, and you do see something for a split second, but I don't think it's human either. It just looks like a shadow, so can't confirm nor deny. However, she didn't want it shared. You can clearly see her in the video, and she did want to be anonymous, so her name has been changed. She said she just doesn't want people to think that she's crazy or like she has a mental illness. So let her know if you have any idea of what this was, if anybody's had a similar experience. She said she's gone down a lot of rabbit holes. She can't find anything about the Veil Keeper, so if anyone has any insight as to what this man was talking about, or maybe he really was just on something. But then that still doesn't explain why he's not actually on the footage. So let me know your thoughts and keep saying.
That whole story totally reminds me of a movie that came out several years back called, I think it was called The Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon. The Adjustment Bureau. I think that was it. But it really was about, I mean, they weren't shadow creatures or anything, but it was, men in hats, men in black, men in hats. It was interesting, but it's the people who really do work just outside our reality. And it's just pretty crazy, man. And, they're behind the scenes, but they interact with our reality and can set things up and whatever. So, and then Matt Damon, I think he somehow falls into it or finds out about, or they come after him, or anyway, it gets really crazy, the Adjustment Bureau. But that's kind of what that story reminded me of, personally.
The way I'm in the middle of doing my makeup right
Now this one's pretty cool. This is
doing my makeup right now. And
this is a glitch in the Matrix, I guess in real time you could say. But this is weird. All right, check this out.
the way I'm in the middle of doing my makeup right now, and my earring just dropped into my makeup bag. There's literally been attached to my ear for like 30-40 minutes. And it fell into my makeup bag, and I was like, that's where my earring fell out. I wonder if the back's not on it. And I pick it up, and it literally looks just like this. Like, and that one's on, and this one was on too. This is the first one I put on. Fucking glitch in the Matrix, bro. I wish I would have been recording.
I swear to you, the Matrix is real, and life does glitch sometimes. I see people's glitch in the Matrix videos from TikTok all of the time, and these are the ones that scare me the most.
I'm low-key freaking out right now. I feel like I'm experiencing one of those glitch in the Matrix moments. You ever see people talk about those on here? I'm upstairs in our Airbnb. We have guests coming today, so I've been cleaning it and whatnot. I have most of the rooms done.
Oh yeah, sorry. Huge shout out to Dark City. Who was that? 1979 Rhino? Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. Dark City, classic. If you guys haven't seen Dark City, please do. And that's even one that you could watch with a family, I would say. I mean, it's scary and really eerie, but I don't remember it being super bloody or anything. I may be wrong, but anyway, it's good.
About an hour ago, I did the bathroom. I cleaned it top to bottom. I swept, as you can see, the broom. I mopped and everything. I just went to walk in here to double check to make sure the floors look good. And this is laying on the bathroom floor. Hold on. And this is from a necklace that my husband got me for Christmas a few years ago. I wear it a lot, but I have not been wearing it for the last couple weeks because I've been wearing my gold necklaces. And like I said, I just cleaned this whole bathroom top to bottom and did the floors not even an hour ago. And I have not worn this necklace in weeks. So now I have to go downstairs and look at all my jewelry and see if I have the chain for it in its usual spot. So if we come into my bedroom, I always keep my most worn necklaces right here. Literally, I know it. This is the chain. Yes, this is the chain that it usually sits on. And that was just upstairs on my fucking bathroom floor in the Airbnb. I cannot stress enough that I have not worn this necklace in at least a couple weeks. Because like I said, I have been wearing my gold necklaces religiously. I haven't even taken them off to sleep or shower. I am never going to be able to explain this, and it's going to drive me absolutely insane. I'm very happy that I did find it because I would have been upset if I lost this. I really love this necklace. My husband has good taste. What the fuck, though? Bye.
Let me tell you why I don't fuck with slides like this. And no, it's not what you're expecting. It's actually something that you're going to just immediately write off as a conspiracy or a weird dream, whatever. But this actually happened to me, so stay tuned. When I was 5 years old, my dad dropped me off for a choir trip with my children's choir from the church we went to, okay? And it was me and probably 5 other kids as well as our instructors. We loaded up in her Suburban and we drove for a good little while, like long enough that we watched the entire movie because of Winn-Dixie on the little movie screens in her car. We get to this place that is like a children's paradise, okay? Like it had slides like this. It also had playgrounds just like this. Like when I saw this picture, I just went, because like this is spot on to like one of the playgrounds that was in this place. Like I remember so vividly like climbing up this little side right here, going down these slides, all that stuff. Like I remember it like it was yesterday. There was another playground in this place that was laid out exactly like this one, because I remember the ball pit being on like the little second level and thinking that that was so cool. I also remember the people that worked there telling the kids like, don't throw the balls out, like leave the balls in there. So you're probably thinking like, what's weird about this? Like this is a kid's place. Like what's weird about this? You probably had like the time of your life. Like what could possibly go wrong in a children's paradise like this with ball pits and slides and arcade games and prizes? Like what could go wrong here? So during this trip, okay, we get there, we go buck wild, we're running around, and me and this little girl that I was friends with from choir, I've actually tried to remember her name more times than I can tell you, and I do not remember because I was so young. Me and her are running around, and we go to the slides that I showed you in the first clip. We get up to the top of the slides. Me and her both take, like, we go at the same time. Like, I'm on this slide, she's on this slide, okay? We go down the slides, and as soon as I get to the bottom before she does, I turn around to look at her, and all of a sudden, this place went from packed with parents, kids, chaperones, employees, whatever, being loud like I was in the inside of a Walmart, to dead silent, all the lights cut off, and I am the only person to be seen in this place. Like, literally just boom, like went from so loud to just silent. And I think honestly that's why I looked back like, God, like why did it just get so quiet in here? And as soon as I looked back, that was what was going on. I was completely alone. Like it was like I went from this reality just to like right here.
All right, interesting. I'm going to move on to the next. I didn't realize this is a compilation, but that's good. I've got some individual stories.
I want to hear all of your
Here we go.
glitch in the matrix, unexplained, fascinating to me. And we can make this a series. This can be episode 1 because I have plenty of them. North Carolina, it's the middle of the night. Okay. She's on the phone with my grandma and my grandma. And we can make this a series. This can be episode 1 because I have plenty of them. This one's my mom's. She was driving from Atlanta to North Carolina. It's the middle of the night. She's on the phone with my grandma, and my grandma is helping her over maps, Google Maps, because my mom was running out of gas and she was panicking a little bit because she was in the middle of fucking nowhere, okay? Finally, over the hill, she sees a lit up, beautiful gas station. So she pulls in, she pumps her gas, uses her card, and then she goes to walk in to pee before she leaves. So she's walking towards the door, and as she gets to the door, her mom called her and goes, "You ran out of gas, didn't you?" And my mom's like, "No, I'm at a gas station. Is my car, do you not see it?" She said, "No, your car's like parked in the middle of nowhere. Where are you?" And she said, I'm at a gas station." And as she's saying that, she goes to pull the door and it's locked. And she looks up and there's a close sign. And she was like, "Oh, I just got gas. That's weird." She turns around. Everything's dark. No lights on, no people,
Like
no
that other
cars,
girl.
bars on the windows, boarded up windows, a completely abandoned gas station. Ugh, it makes me want to throw up thinking about it. So of course, like any normal human, my mom's like, I've lost my mind, or I've fallen into a different dimension. She speeds off, gets on the interstate, completely weirded out, looks at her gas tank. Her gas is full. She got gas at this non-existent gas station. It's not on her credit card history, nothing. They go back, look on maps. There's no gas station there. Never figured it out.
Wow. See, that's a good one. It's wild. Like real Twilight Zone type stuff, you know?
In 2012, someone went on Reddit and asked people to share their personal glitch in the matrix stories. A glitch in the matrix story is any story where something totally unusual happens that doesn't have a logical explanation. So these are true stories, or at least purported to be true. They're first-hand accounts, and they're very popular on Reddit. And so this particular query on Reddit got very popular. It went totally viral. And so there were thousands and thousands of stories commented down below. So lots of people gave their glitch in the matrix story. Now, the top comments, so the top stories that were given, were really, really interesting. But by far, the best response, the best glitch in the matrix story, got no attention at all. It was buried at the bottom of 14,000 plus comments. This story, which was written by a person who just went by Sarah X11, should have gone completely viral. It should have been the top comment by far. But for whatever reason, it wasn't. And so now, 10 years later, no one really knows about it. While we don't know for sure if Sarah X11's story is true, as it is just an unverified first-hand account, what we do know is that this was the first story that Sarah X11 had ever posted to Reddit about glitches in the Matrix. The majority of her Reddit activity consisted of liking cute pictures of cats and dogs. So this person, this user, was not on Reddit for clout. Strange dreams about a woman named Aurora. She had a very striking face with sharp features and long black hair. Now, her dreams varied. Sometimes Sarah was in a crowd of people, or she was at her office, or she was just alone in a room. But in all of her dreams, Aurora would always show up. Either she would interact with Aurora and they would speak, but Sarah could never remember what they actually spoke about, or Aurora would just be in the crowd or in the background just watching Sarah. Now, she had these dreams enough that eventually Sarah began to think, I must know someone named Aurora. I must have come across this person, and now they're just kind of manifesting in my brain at night when I'm sleeping. And so she began going through her older posts on social media to look in pictures of her and of her friends to see if there was a woman with striking features and long black hair that was this Aurora person in her dream. But after looking through hundreds and hundreds of pictures, she couldn't find any indication that she had met this person, at least not according to her social media. And so Sarah began just going on Google and typing in Aurora, long black hair, striking features. Has anybody dreamed about this? To see if there were people talking about having this type of dream on the internet. But she had no luck. Eventually, after about 3 or 4 months of having these strange dreams that Aurora was in, Aurora stopped showing up in Sarah's dreams. It was like it suddenly was all over. And so very quickly, Sarah just kind of forgot about it. A few years later, on Halloween night 2009, Sarah and a friend pulled off the highway into a gas station. They had been out with some friends celebrating Halloween, and now they were making their way back home. Sarah pulled into an empty spot right in front of the convenience store, and after they were parked, Sarah and her friend got out, they went inside, they got some snacks and drinks, and then they came back outside and climbed back into Sarah's car. A few moments later, Sarah had turned her car on, she had backed out, and she had driven past all of the gas station pumps, and she was making her way towards the single-lane strip of road that merged out onto the highway. It was how anybody who got into this gas station got back out onto the highway. And so as she's getting closer to the entrance of this short merge road, her phone suddenly rings. What happens next occurred over a span of just a few seconds. So it might seem like this is over several minutes, but this all happened pretty much simultaneously. So she's pulling up to the entrance of this merge road, her cell phone rings, and because there was no one behind her, it was not a busy night, Sarah decides to just stop her car, put it in park so she can safely take this phone call. And so she stops her car pretty much right in front of the entrance to this merge road, and station pulls up right behind Sarah's car, and they start honking their horn immediately. They're in a huge rush. And so Sarah, who's totally embarrassed that she's blocking traffic, she hangs up the phone, she puts it down, she puts her car back in drive, and she hits the gas. But this driver behind her is apparently in such a rush, they're so impatient, that they actually swerved around her, driving on the dirt off to the side of the road just to get around her, and then they sped off down the merge road back onto the highway. And literally, seconds later, another car that was already on the highway, a silver Honda Civic, lost control and smashed into this car that had just passed Sarah's car. So there's this huge car accident literally right in front of Sarah and her friend, who have now stopped the car. They're right at the end of the merge road looking at this horrible accident that they narrowly escaped. Sarah put her car back in park, she picked up her phone, and she called the police. When the police showed up a few moments later, they took down Sarah and her friend's version of events, and then a little while later, after the ambulances had left and after the 2 cars had been pulled off of the highway, one of the police officers pulled Sarah aside and told her that the driver of the Honda Civic and the driver of the car that had swerved around her had both been killed in the accident. Shocked, the only thing Sarah could think to do was to call back that number she didn't recognize that had effectively stopped her from getting onto the highway and maybe even stopped her from being hit by that Honda Civic. And so she wanted to talk to this person and thank them for saving her life. But when she called the number back, the person did not pick up. However, it went to her voicemail. and it said, "Hi, you've reached Aurora. Leave your name and number after the beep." Sarah could not believe it. She said she had never felt goosebumps like that in her entire life. The next day, Sarah tried calling the number again, and this time the woman, Aurora, answered the phone. The two got to talking, and Sarah explained her crazy dreams and now this crazy car crash thing and how it's all connected. And Aurora would tell Sarah, like, "That's amazing. This is a crazy story you're telling me, except I didn't call you last night. I have no idea how you got my phone number." And so at the end of this phone call, the two women really had not reached any sort of explanation for how this came to be, how they came to be talking. But they ultimately just said, "Okay, hey, thanks and best of luck to you," and then they hung up. After the call was over, Sarah found herself just kind of sitting there, not really sure how to react to what had just happened. It was such a totally bizarre thing that she had just been through over the past 24 hours, and then if you include the dream, this has been a multi-year-long thing. And so on a whim, Sarah just opens up her Facebook account and she plugs in Aurora's full name, because Aurora had given her full name on this phone call they had just had. And when she looked at her phone, when the results came in, Sarah nearly fainted. Right at the top of the results page was this woman, Aurora's Facebook account, and her profile picture showed her face. And when Sarah looked at her face, it was the exact same face she had seen so many times in her dreams. It was the same Aurora with the striking features and long black hair.
Wow.
The woman in her dreams was the woman who called.
Wild, right? That's a good one. He's a great storyteller. Mr. Ballin. Yeah, he's really good. It's a good one. Real good. Spooky.
This person has a crazy glitch in the matrix.
Okay, give me a second. This lady unfortunately takes up like
There were no words exchanged.
a minute or so.
You think in the comments, please.
And it's just that unfortunate kind of side of just what happened with society and social media over the years, how there's, not everybody, of course, but, there's a lot of people just have to be in frame. A lot of times you're literally just, and I watch it all the time, but it's like we're really just a lot of times watching somebody watching a video, sometimes with barely any commentary. But that's also just very popular content, and people go through it and people do well on TikTok with it, and that's the way it works. But it's also just kind of that narcissistic side of 2025 in the last decade, really, if not a little more. Social media has encouraged that and pushed it. Got to be on camera. Look at me. Anyway, rant off. This is a good one. I think there's some really good ones. We're just getting started. So thanks again for being here.
My glitch in the matrix stories, and I'm going to put them into a collection on TikTok. I always listen to As Raven Dreams in the morning when I'm getting ready, and it just made me think I really need to put my glitch in the matrix stories into a folder on TikTok. So it was hard to choose from the many glitches I've had in my life, but today I'm going to tell you about the one where Minnie, who is my youngest daughter, she is 9 this month. When she was little, say about one or two, she could walk, obviously. So picture this, I pull up onto my drive, and the house that I was in at the time, my drive's here, okay, at the side of my house. You get out the car, you walk up the long path, and then you turn the corner. My garden was huge. Turn the corner, and then you go into my front door. I just picked the kids up from school, and we're walking up the drive. River was with me, which is my middle daughter. She was there also, so she would have been about 5. River's walking in front to go into the house. I'm holding Minnie's hand because she was only little. She was only a baby, 1 or 2. And every time I walked up the drive, I would hold her hand because I wouldn't want her running out onto the road behind me. Jesus. River knew to go straight to the house, to the door. I'm walking up the path to my house through the big garden, got Minnie in his hand. As we used to go into my front door, there was like about 3 steps, and they're quite high for a little kid with little legs. So I always used to pick Minnie's hand up and put her into the house. After I'd open the door, pick her up, put her in, walked up the path, got to the steps, unlocked the door, and I lifted her up And I will try my best to try and explain this. I'm lifting her up, and all of a sudden, my hand fell. It just fell. I don't know how to explain this. Minnie was gone. She wasn't there. So I'm holding her by her arm, laughing, putting her in the front door, and she vanished. When I say vanished, I can't describe this enough, right? When I say vanished, I don't mean she ran off, or I let go of her by mistake, or she wiggled out of my hand. I mean she vanished into thin air. I don't know what I thought. My head was gone. My logical side of my brain was not logic. Like, it wasn't working. It wasn't braining. So I've stood there. Minnie's vanished. River's already gone ahead into the house. I'm spinning around in the middle of my garden. Big garden, massive garden. There's nothing in the garden. Like, there's no kids stuff. There's no plants. There's no nothing. It's just grass. It's just a big garden. I am spinning around in a circle. My heart is pumping rapidly. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was going dizzy with sheer panic. Like, I just could not comprehend what had just happened. What had just vanished into midair out of my arm, out of my grip, which had my arm drop because the weight was there and then it was gone. I was spinning around. I started crying, shouting. River's come out the door and I'm like, River, just go back in, go back in. Let me tell you, I could see over the hedge of my garden, and I straight across the street. So you've got my big garden, the hedge, and then you've got a main road, and then over there is a path. So it's a distance to get over to the other side of the road. And there was an old, creepy looking man. I can only describe him as looking a bit like the vicar out of Poltergeist, it's called, yeah? And he was stood there, holding Minnie's hand like this across the road and waving at me like this. I bolted out of that garden, obviously, and I ran across that road and I grabbed Minnie. Minnie wasn't crying, she wasn't doing anything, she was just holding his hand. She looked quite happy, actually. And I grabbed her, and I was that shocked and shaken at what had just happened. I didn't even say anything to the man. Like most people be like, well, did you ask him why he had her? Did you ask him how she got there? Did you ask him? I was physically shaken. I ran into the house with the kids. I dropped down onto the bottom step of my stairs, hugging Minnie, crying, shaking. I was stuttering. I couldn't even speak. That's how severe this was. I do not understand what happened. I guess some people are going to logically kind of think about it and say, well, maybe you just had a lot on your mind and maybe, you know, you thought you had her. No. I was perfectly fine. I nothing was crazy was going off in my life. It was just an average day. And let me tell you, when I had my daughter in my grip, I had her in my grip. If I didn't have her in my grip...
All right, I'll go and stop there. I think we got the story, but thanks, lady. It's a wild experience, I think. Let's jump ahead and check some of this out. What the... Oh, yeah.
I had to share this video with you guys tonight.
This is so good. It's a really good example of the glitch in the Matrix, and I showed this on KJ's What Happened when it first came out, and that's only been maybe a few months ago. All right.
Wait, this is actually coming from a woman named Lizzie. This is her Ring camera footage that she captured on the night of August 11th, 2025. And it is probably one of the wildest, craziest glitches I've ever seen. And we're actually seeing it in real time. Now, these missionaries come to her house about 8:41 at night. She doesn't answer the door, speaks to them through Ring. But this is when it gets really creepy, other than the fact that two women are showing up in the middle of the night who are saying that they're missionaries. You can see in the first camera footage, their dresses are pink and it's a certain style. Pay attention to the style of the dress. As they walk to the porch, the whole dress completely changes. The style, everything, the color, everything. This is not a trick of lighting. Their whole dresses completely change. What is going on here? Take a look at these next two videos, comment below, and tell me what you think.
It is freaking creepy.
This is
8:41. Somebody knocks on the door. And then, hold on. Check out their outfits.
They're wearing two different dresses from what they were wearing.
Is nothing compared to what they were wearing.
And we saw them. It had polka dots. It had the dresses.
Go back to the other one.
We literally just saw them, and they were wearing.
And like, go fast forward. Like, it changes color. Watch, go fast
Right
forward.
as soon as they get over there out of our porch.
What the heck is this? Is this at 8:41?
Look, they have
and they
and
said they were missionary. You know,
but missionaries don't come at 9 p.m. though. That's
I asked them, you know, that it's late, and they left. And he said, "I'm sorry, not trying to be rude."
That's creepy.
Do you see that? That is so crazy. So here it is. Look. I mean, it looks like they have two totally different colors on, red and black, right? Maybe black. I don't know. It's kind of far away. But it looks like kind of a red and a black, you know? And then they come up here, and suddenly they're wearing the same thing. Here's another view coming up. Yeah, look at this. So red and black, man. Red and black and white, of course. That is interesting, though. Or maybe some other designs down there. I wish I could get a closer shot of that, because it looks like it's more than just white. Looks like there's a lot of colors and design, like there's some kind of design there. So just one more time. Here they come around the corner, red and black, as we saw. And now, just through the shadow, they're wearing the same thing. With the name tags even. And then right there. She's carrying a purse on her right hand side. Yeah, it is completely different. Did she have a purse on her right hand side? Yeah, she still did. Okay, cool. That's a good one, right? I think so. Good glitch in the Matrix. Shapeshifters, maybe? I don't know. Oh. Next up, excuse me, another one. Glitch in the Matrix? Question mark. You decide.
The following footage comes from a woman who owned the Rescue Farm. It was a typical storm, but she happened to glance out and notice something odd with their horses. And she doesn't understand why they did this, but they were literally frozen in a line, one right after another, in the rain. The only thing you can see moving is one of their ears, but that is literally it. She does not know what caused this behavior and what made them do this. And she's calling it a glitch in the Matrix. Take a look at this. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
Actively raining. My horses are frozen in time. Is this a glitch in the Matrix?
Look at that. All of them.
What is happening? There is shelter. There is shelter. But I think they're frozen. This is so weird, you guys. It's so weird. But I think they're frozen. This is so weird, you guys. It's so weird. And my goats, they're smart over there.
Yeah, the goats are under the shelter.
No one is moving.
Look at that.
What?
That is fun.
on, goats. They're smart over there. What is happening?
I know, right?
No one is moving.
So weird. So weird. And also remember that we had a strange anomaly, gosh, probably been 4 or 5 years now. There for about a year or so, we had all kinds of animals were being videoed walking in circles, like large numbers of them. Goats, sheep, birds, like ducks, geese, right? What else? There's a bunch of them. Bunch of footage, and I put a bunch of those in videos, a lot of compilations of as much as I could find. But yeah, there's a lot of the spirals going on. Some may say because even the animals know the king is coming soon, perhaps, right? Perhaps. Just another strange sign of the times. I don't know if there might be something else. Nope. All right, go move on. That's a good one though. You could tell she was tripping out. And clearly they're her horses, so. Here's another really crazy one. Look at this with this bird.
This was captured by a woman and her children when they noticed this bird was literally stuck in one. We have another glitch in the matrix. This was captured by a woman and her children when they noticed this bird was literally stuck in one place, attempting to fly, but not moving, in the middle of the sky. This was crazy. Eventually the bird flies away, but it literally was stuck in one place, trying its hardest to fly away, and it was not moving anywhere. Somebody please explain this.
The bird is just sitting there.
Okay, for real. No, that's crazy.
It's just stuck in place.
Like that hairline of yours, Devon. I know, that's just funny. I don't know. Is y'all laughing?
Look at that.
I'm really so confused. No. And then it stopped.
Stop it and turn around. Come here, record that.
I'm not gonna record this bird for an hour. It's not moving.
You stop that. Y'all laughing? That's just funny. Okay, for real. No, that's crazy.
It's just stuck in place.
Like that hairline of yours, Devon. I know, that's just funny. I don't know.
There it is. Weird. Some
Is y'all laughing?
might say it might be a drone.
So confused.
No.
And then it
For a
stopped.
second.
Stop it and turn around. Come here, record that.
I'm not gonna record this bird for an hour. It's not moving.
Keep stopping. Oh, it is a bird. Okay.
Stop, it just disappeared.
No.
Now that was weird, right? For real, what is going on? And then it gets free.
Stop, it just disappeared.
No.
Wow. Wild stuff happening out there, my friends. Glitches in the matrix, or veil lifting, I would say. More like the veil lifting. Been a lot of these types of videos over the last few years also of people videoing other people who are really like glitched out in real life.
This is a weird one, and some are calling it a glitch in the matrix. The following footage was captured by a couple of bricklayers out of the UK. They noticed this man standing still in the road, literally standing still and not moving. It almost looks fake. That is until cars literally start pulling up to this guy and he's still stuck. Now, whether he's playing a trick on everybody, we don't know. But he stayed there for quite a while before walking off. Take a look at this footage. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
He's fucking gone AFK. Whoever the fuck's controlling him?
Hey. Oh yeah, I think he cusses a lot on this. Point is the footage. And look, there's other people walking right across the street. Whoa. He's disconnected. Totally. Maybe it's a combination of SSRIs, Vaccines and frequencies at work. I don't know. Just programming from the beast system, the triple P, if you will. I don't know for sure, but maybe. That's sad. Dangerous. The Matrix is running on empty, somebody wrote. Indeed. Indeed. Do you guys remember this one? This is a classic. Here's a throwback. And this was the one where somebody recorded this, and it was never revealed to be fake or, AI or anything like that. I mean, this happened, I feel 4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago or less. This one came out. And I always, I remember I shared this one back then, but here's a bit of a revisit. But this is a real weird one. Real weird. And somebody was just sitting here recording this.
What the?
That's a palm tree or arm or whatever you'd call it. See? What'd you call that? Limb.
What the hell?
Palm tree limb. He's walking right underneath it, and it's just floating through the air. There was a better video of that. Hopefully, I guess nobody shared it, but you may remember that one. Bit of a flashback. Let's jump back and do a little story time over here. What do we have next?
What type of being did this guy meet? And
okay, so let's jump ahead.
You need to watch. Thanks. Had my mouth open like this.
Oh goodness. Story about that. All right, here we go. This is a really good one too. Story time. Matrix style.
Uber or Lyft driver that met the vampire in New Orleans. That story made me think about a story that happened to me that was similar, but it was in Atlanta. This happened a while ago. I was super young, and the details of the stories don't show y'all how long ago this was. This was in a time where it was just becoming cool to meet people online. Like, you would meet new people on MySpace and be like, oh, they live in the same area. Shoot, let's hang out, let's chill, whatever. This was also during the time where I was on this spiritual, like supernatural kind of awakening time. And everything on my page was talking about like spiritual, supernatural stuff and whatever. So naturally, I would have interesting conversations with people who were like into the same thing. This kid hit me up who was about the same age as me, I think maybe a little bit older, and was asking me, hey, did you read about this? Did you read about this? Have you heard about this? And all the stuff he was talking about, I was like, no, I never heard of that. Wow, whoa, it's crazy. So we would always have these crazy conversations until we got to the point where he was like, you should come hang out. I got some stuff I could show you, like, that I've done and that I've seen. You should come chill. I'm like, what? Yeah. This is about to put into perspective how long ago this was. So to get to his house, I had to print out directions on MapQuest, which was, the time I was living with my best friend who's like my brother, and I used his mom's car so I could go. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with a friend or whatever. She was like, cool, whatever. So I printed the directions out, drove to the house. I pull up to this house, and it is a mansion, like the biggest house I think I've ever seen. And as the gate is open and he's walking down the driveway, he's like, what's up? I'm like, what's up? What do your parents do? Just kind of like, oh, yeah, they're into everything. They're not in town right now, whatever. When I tell you it was like a circle driveway, it had like Bentleys and like all kind of expensive cars in the driveway. And I'm just kind of like nervous because this is the first time that I've ever been around money like that. We walk into the house through this huge ass garage, and the house has this weird feeling. It like feels homey, but feels expansive at the same time, like a warehouse. It was the weirdest feeling. I can't really put my finger on it, but it felt vast and at the same time cozy. This is where it starts getting. As we go through the house, each room is themed to like a different period of humanity. I'm talking like big suits of armor in one room, and then it's like Asian inspired stuff and ancient stuff. And I'm like, so do your parents collect things? Or at this point, I'm like, what's happening in here? We're walking through all these rooms, and we finally get to a hallway that looks just like any other house, any other hallway. His room was to the right. There was a restroom to the straight ahead, and then branches off to the left to other rooms and stuff. Normal. This is where it kind of linked to the other girl's story. And what made me think about this again was I remember the details, but I don't remember the details. Like, I remember we talked about socials, birth certificates. He was telling me how to use my brother's birth certificate to get him out of jail. Other kind of secrets about the country, the world, all kind of stuff I remember, but don't remember. I remember what he looks like, but I can't quite remember what he looks like. I remember what he sounds like. I remember what the room looked like. I remember what the bathroom looked like. And let me tell y'all about what I found in that bathroom. So this is what made me start going on a rabbit hole and researching things, because it was this big book. It was a huge, I don't even think I've ever seen a book this big, but it was like leather bound. You could tell it was really old. When I opened the book, on the first page were like these drawings, and it was these beings, and it was kind of like a family tree type thing. And the first one was saying like, this is this being, and then this is this being's kids, and then this is whatever. These beings looked like us, but pitch black. And these were drawings in the beginning. So the beginning of the book was drawings. They were pitch black, like the color black. All you could see was eyes. I'm flipping through the pages and I'm feeling like I'm invading privacy. I'm seeing something I'm not supposed to see. And as I'm flipping through the book, it's saying names of what these beings are, who they are, like description of who they are. It was like biographies, but very short descriptions. And
it'd be amazing to be filming that, you know, just at least get your camera out, run through it real quick. You can always pause it, you know, screenshot things.
And I can't really remember details, but I do remember as the book got further, it became less of drawings and more of pictures. And once it started becoming pictures, I got scared. I grab the book and I take it out there and I'm like, what is this? What is this? He goes, oh, that's the book of Anu, the Anunnaki. It shows you who all the Anunnaki are up to this day. Some of humanity comes from them. It's kind of like a story of God and the angels and blah, blah, blah. What? Mind you, we had a full-fledged conversation after that. I remember I was there for quite some time after that, and I remember him explaining it to me, going through the pages and talking, but I don't remember none of that. It's like I'm looking at a memory on mute. I came to it and I remember getting back into my car, and like immediately after I left, I called my brother while I was on the way, and I was like, you'll never believe this, blah, 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 because we were both on this supernatural, spiritual journey. I'm like, he said this, da, da, da. My brother's like, I want to meet him. I want to meet him too. I'm like, yeah, I think, yeah, you can meet him too. In like hours, I've been gone for, I don't even know how long, and I'm telling him more and more stuff about the stuff I remember, and he's like, I want to meet him. I want to meet him. I'm like, bet, I got these directions I printed from MapQuest. Let's go tomorrow. I'm sure he's not going to carry his parents out of town right now. This is where it gets all the way crazy. So the next day, we followed the directions that were printed on MapQuest back to that same place. We get there, it's an open field. Nothing's there.
I'm going to go with
Good story, man. Good story. Good experience. And you know, I typically will.
Okay, so a bunch of you guys have tagged me in this.
I'll typically try and, you know, with all these people, you want to, plus I try and select the best I can. But, you know, you give people the benefit of the doubt on these, and, you know, discern for yourself. You decide for yourself on if people are being honest in these or not. All right, these are ring camera catches. All right, let's go.
Here is Andy.
Here we go.
So if there's any like supernatural or like spirity people that can explain these next videos, please watch this. So my nanny passed away a couple of weeks ago, and my mom has been clearing out her house. Nanny has a camera installed on the inside of her house, so it just faces her living room, her front door, and her stairs. You'll see it in the next clips, but the past couple of days something really weird has happened. So no one else has a key to my nanny's house apart from my mum, so that's really important for this. So this is the first clip. Here's my mum leaving my nanny's house. This is around 3:30, and she doesn't come back until the next morning. So there's nothing on the floor, there's nothing in sight, specifically at the door there's nothing left there. So my mum leaves, doesn't come back, and nobody else comes into the house. This is in the next morning. My mum was so confused because there's a gift bag left at the door. Nobody has had access to this house. The ring camera didn't pick up any motion in between my mum leaving and my mum arriving back with any person detected. So this is what was left at the door. She's so confused. She says she remembers leaving that bag upstairs. There's a pair of slippers in it. and I'll show you what the bag said, like what the gift bag actually said. So it says on it a little something just for you, which is like so strange because gift bags usually say like happy birthday or Merry Christmas or things like that. But the fact it says this is so weird, but the next clip is where it gets even weirder. So like I said, there's been no motion of a person detected in the house. It's literally just been my mum leaving, my mum coming back, but the ring camera like records through the night or just constantly. So I'll show you the next clip. This video is not edited, watch right here. I'm just gonna show it again. I just don't understand how a bag can just appear literally out of thin air. Like even if the ring camera is recording in frames, like not continuously recording, how did that bag just appear? And if it like fell down the stairs somehow, or how is it landing up the way? So if anyone has any explanation, please let me know, because we are all so confused and have no idea how it even got there.
Good one. Good story. Glitch in the Matrix. Very strange. I like the footage, of course. It's always good to have the footage.
I got an email from somebody who said that she fell asleep for 12 hours and lived a separate life for 7 years, that she now grieves every single day, and she knows that it was real because she brought things back from that life into this life. The person who sent me the story's name is Stacy, and she said that I could use her real name. She said that it was just like any other day. She was absolutely exhausted and drained, and she wanted to take a nap. So she took a nap around 3 p.m. and she set her alarm for 4:30 p.m. But when she woke up after that alarm went off, she was not in her room. She was in some cozy little kitchen. She said pancakes were sizzling on the stove, Fleetwood Mac was playing, and then she turned around and she saw some dark-skinned man walk up to her, smile, and say, "You always space out in the morning, baby." And then he kissed her on the forehead. He then said, "Do you want strawberries or syrup on your pancakes?" And she wanted to scream. She had no idea who this man was, but she said that her mouth just smiled. And she heard her own mouth say, "Syrup and strawberries for me, please, but no strawberries for the kids, just syrup. They don't like strawberries." Stacey has 2 kids in real life, but she's thinking to herself, like, what world am I in right now? And do I have those same 2 kids in this world? And then all of a sudden, 3 children run into the room. There's 2 boys and 1 girl, and they came running into the kitchen and they wrapped their arms around her legs, and like they always did, and she knew this somehow. Her brain filled in the blanks like flipping through a photo album that she had never seen but remembered. Oldest name was Octavia, and if you know Stacy, her favorite show is The 100, so Octavia is short for Ava. This girl was 10 years old, she had freckles and missing teeth. The second oldest was Miles, he was 7 and he had a Batman cape on. She said the youngest one's name was Devin, and he wore 2 different socks all the time, and it was almost like he did this on purpose. He would come and show his mom, and she would tell him to go put the right socks on, and when she would put the right socks on him, he would go and grab another sock that was mismatched, and he would put it on top of the other sock so it would be mismatching again, and then he would laugh at her when she would get upset about it. Said her hands poured juice, cut pancakes, and packed lunches, and everything just felt natural to her. She said that her head didn't know what to do, but that her hands knew what to do, and she knew everybody. She knew her friends, her family, her husband. She also said that she looked completely different. She was a mixed woman wherever she was, and she is a mixed woman in real life, but that she just looked different. She was very thin with braids, a septum piercing, and a bunch of tattoos. She said days passed, but they weren't days. They felt real. Time went on. She celebrated birthdays. She got sick. She fought with her husband. Cried in the laundry room. She made love. She yelled, laughed. She went to work. She held her kids as they fell asleep. She was an art teacher. She had 23 kids in her class, and it was room 106. She remembers it specifically. She remembers Miles breaking his arm, the youngest starting kindergarten. She remembers Ava coming home crying because somebody made fun of her freckles. She remembers Devin learning how to ride a bike, and when he finally did it, he yelled, "Yay, Daddy, look, I did it. I can ride a bike." But after 7 years of living this perfect life, she started to notice glitches. Like she would go to the grocery store, and the grocery store would be playing the same song over and over and over again on repeat. The mailman's name was Tom. It was always Tom, but after the 5th year, every time she saw him, his face would change. There was also a door in the basement that they never used, and when she asked her husband about it, he was like, "That's storage," but they had no key for it, nothing. They couldn't open it. She said that after this happened and she asked her husband that, her husband was like, "Are you okay, baby? You've been asking really weird questions lately." And for some reason, she just ignored him, and she walked into the room, and as she sat on her bed, she looked at her closet door, and the door started whispering to her. And with that same door, she had been hearing muffled crying behind that door recently, and that night, as she stared at that door, she heard somebody whisper, "You don't belong here." They're going to find you. You're going to get in trouble. Wake up. I know you're sick, but you have to wake up. Well, the whole basement door thing had her going crazy. So at some point, she started looking everywhere for a key so that she could open this damn basement door. And finally, she found a key. And one night, she went alone down there when it was dark with a flashlight. Her kids were asleep. She remembers that. She remembers that her husband was upstairs grading papers, and she remembered that the door didn't have a knob. It only had a keyhole. And as she was putting the key in the hole, her hands were shaking. And as she's doing this, she whispered, "What's behind there?" And she heard her voice, her real voice that she had remembered from the other world, whisper back to her, "You're sick. You're falling."
I kind of feel like, to be honest, because I didn't listen to this one first. I did some of them. But I feel like she's more telling a story. I don't really know if I trust this one personally. How do y'all feel in live chat? Just wanted to do it. Usually don't do this, but I want to take a pause and see what you guys say live. You know, utilize the live chat. By the way, thanks for being here. You guys are all awesome. Got, yeah, like 500 something people here. Thank you guys. Good to see you. Thanks so much for sharing your Friday evening with us, man. Good to have you here. What do you think? Because some of these I really feel, some I'm not so sure. What do you think? Do you want to continue or move to the second or the next? You like it? It's fun. Pause. Nice story. Sounds like a story. Tall tale. Fake. All right, we'll go and move on then from this one.
Deeper into the...
We got a few minutes of it, but it's 8 minutes long, so we're only halfway there now. But it's all right. It happens sometimes. So let's jump ahead over here.
It is February 28th, 29th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera.
Oh yeah, I put some of this.
It's February.
Sorry. One of my videos a while back, I guess it's back when he first put this out there, 2024. So yeah, it hadn't been that long, but you know, just I'd say over a year ago, just over. This guy, he's the only one that I can remember seeing that he's captured this. And, you know, you decide. But I haven't heard anything since. We'll go check his channel out after this and see. Look at that, 111. Pew. All right, check it out. We'll talk about an interesting glitch in the matrix, if you will.
28th, 29th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky.
Look at that.
And holy moly.
At 1:11 a.m. Nice.
Holy, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face looking right down on us. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something? All right, here we go.
Oh, you know, that's crazy. That was on right around my birthday, because I'm March 1st. So this is February 29th at 1:11. That's awesome. All right. Enough about me. You know what that kind of reminds me of looking at it? Like a dead Titan floating in the firmament. Look at this.
Let's see if I can get a better huge face. Look.
It's so interesting. And it's been a while, you know, and nothing's come out that it's faked or blah, 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 or it's AI. Because, yeah.
Looking right down on us. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is.
Super creepy.
There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something? All right, here we go. There it is.
Look at that.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Camera makes it so clear.
There it is.
It's really chilling, you know. Really chilling. Like I said, nobody else is, we haven't seen anyone else. Oh yeah, yeah, sure, you know. Like it's not a super common thing either. It's just perhaps that night he was alerted, you know, the Holy Spirit let him know, look up, you know, take a look. Maybe that's how that works. But sorry about that. But what a catch, right? What a catch. All right, so and his channel's called Incognito Gaming, so it's not like it's normal for him to be posting that kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? It looks like he's been sharing a lot of interesting ones that look cool. But yeah, trying to see. Yeah, he's got. Looks like he's got some cool shares. Incognito Gaming TV over on TikTok. Let's see what we got here. I was kind of wanting to see what. Where's that? There it is. I was kind of wanting to see what this is. Oh, some AI stuff. Yeah, that's goofy. Some AI stuff. Cool looking though, but.
There's this picture on my dad's phone.
Okay, it's a really good one too. Check this out. Good example of a glitch in the Matrix, if you will, or a time slip, or the veil lifting. That's what I really like.
And it's really scary. There's this picture on my dad's phone, and it's really scary. And they think it's the last thing he's gonna see before he dies. This just showed up on his phone out of nowhere. It says January 30th, 2027, and no one knows where this picture was taken from or what it's of. He doesn't remember taking this picture. It's just on his phone. Doesn't remember taking this picture.
I'm trying to see what it looks like, but I guess that's the sun, right? In the background, some clouds, some light clouds from an airplane. All right. Okay, cool. For some reason I thought that was more interesting. I thought that he had seen a ballistic coming down from the sky, but seems I was wrong.
These videos we make.
But I remember this one coming out. This wasn't too long ago either. It says Horror Talks 666, ruh-roh. You just cursed yourself, person. But I do remember this particular one coming out about the pelican. Do you guys remember seeing this one? There's the...
These videos we making these.
I don't know if they're going to play the whole thing there. There's a whole video of somebody walking up on the pier and filming this thing. And clearly it looks transparent.
These videos we making you say what the glitch, because why does this bird look so fake?
I think that was really the main one I wanted to show. This looks like it's going to be... Okay, let's check it out.
It's filled with Mountain Dew.
I mean Mountain Dew. I'm drinking.
My horses are frozen in.
Alright, I'm going to go and move on. Looks like it's a bit of a compilation, which is fine. But I think we'll go ahead and jump back here. Do a little story time here.
I have a lot of stories to
Yeah, let's check this one out. It's a good one too.
tell from my life, and I'm working on a bunch of really cool stuff right now, and I'm waiting on something to dry. So I thought I'd tell you stories where I've said in my life, like, something weird is going on. A lot of them are from being a nurse. I was an ICU nurse for about 10 years. I'm gonna tell you 2 of my mystical, weird nursing stories. I don't have proof of these stories, obviously, because I'm in a hospital, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it, but I'm not lying to you. okay? Being a nurse was really, really hard on me and my psyche and my emotions and my experience of the world. But it also got me in touch with like the other side. I'm working in the ICU. I'm a night shift nurse, and I'm getting a report on a patient. The patient is not neuro intact. They're not in there, they don't respond. And I was like, okay, and I write it down. It looked obvious that they didn't respond. And so I took her word for it. But even when a patient couldn't respond to me, I'd always talk to them. Because one, I was lonely, and two, I'm like, what if they could hear? Some of the rooms that we take care of patients were isolation rooms. I only had one patient, and it was just me and this person who couldn't talk pretty much all night long. Night shift gives baths, so I'm giving them a bath. That's why I'm talking to them the most, because I'm all up in their business. And I'm like, are you comfortable? And they shake their head, yes. And I was like, oh, you're in there. This is great news. Wasn't neuro intact for quite a long time. Well, now they're answering questions. Nurse works 12-hour shifts, and I would always stack mine in a row. I could have 4 days off to do whatever I wanted. So I ended up having this patient for 3 days in a row. And because I'm a sensitive girl, I end up forming a bond with this patient. So I have them for 3 nights, and then I'm off for 4. On the 4th night, I'm due to come back. So I go to sleep that night, and I end up having this dream that I walk into the patient's room, the isolation room that they were in, and there's all these boxes and suitcases and luggage. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're up standing in the room. I was like, where are you going? And they were like, I'm going home. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how good you look, but you know what? It makes sense. Like, it's so much huge progress in 4 days. And they're like, I just wanted to give you a big hug. So I give this patient like a huge hug, and it was so lovely. And they were like, thank you so much. And I was like, of course. I get to work. I go to the board. I look at the name, and they're not there. I was like, did they move to the step-down unit? Are they on med surg now? They were like, no, that patient passed away last night. I was like, what? I literally had a dream that they were going home last night. And in reality, they kind of were. Another time, I was taking care of a patient who had really done something horrible to themselves, and they were so sick. They were on the ECMO machine that took their blood out, okay, oxygenated it, and put it back in. No one could get them off sedation. And so they weren't making any progress at all. Rough. And they were like, we really need to get them off sedation. And for some reason, every time they wake up, they're freaking the heck out. I got that patient. I was like, I'm gonna try to get them off sedation. Like, let's make some progress. Let's do this. The first night I had them, I started lowering and tapering off their sedation. They started waking up and they started freaking out. And of course, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go back on sedation. Like, every time they would freak out, it would increase their oxygen demand and it would make them really unstable. Crap, I gotta figure this out. It's the first night of 3 nights in a row, and I'll know I'll have this patient the next day. But I go home and I go to bed, and for some reason, I fell asleep with socks on, which I never do. I woke up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, and I was like, get this shit off me. I was like, have you ever done that? When you wake up and you're way too hot, and you're like, take these socks off of me, take these blankets off of me. I felt like crap. I go back to the hospital the next day, and I do the same thing all over again. I try to lower the sedation. I'm trying everything. I'm giving him different medicine. Of course, the patient starts freaking out again. So I go up on the sedation and I'm just sitting there. And for some reason, I did something bad. I looked them up on social media, and I'm looking through all their posts, and I'm like, man, I can't believe this is like happening to you. And I start like connecting with them or something. Start lowering the sedation again. And they start freaking out again. But this time, something happens to me. I get so freaking hot. I start breaking a profuse sweat right at the bedside. I start feeling so sick. I'm like, oh my God, I have to sit down. I have to call another nurse over. I start going back up on the sedation. And I'm like, sorry, I don't know. Something just overcame me. The other nurse comes, takes a break for me, and I go to the bathroom. And I'm in the bathroom, and I'm thinking for a second. And I'm like, you know what? This patient has boots on, gloves on, a neck brace. They have all of this stuff, and they can't regulate their own temperature because the blood in the ECMO machine is being taken out and warmed and put back in. And I noticed that they were spiking fevers. And I was like, what if they're just too hot? Like the other night when I woke up from sleep and I was too hot. And I freaked out. So I went back to the bedside and I was like, all right, guys, gather around. We're about to do something crazy. I was like, we're going to take off all of their mittens, all of their boots. We're even going to take off their neck brace. And they're like, are you crazy? The person freaks out every time you lower the sedation. I was like, I don't know. I think they're too hot. Maybe they need help trying to regulate their body temperature. I don't know. I just want to try it. They're like, okay. By the end of the night, this patient was completely off sedation, watching the football game on TV. And I was like, something weird's going on.
Good stuff like that. I bet some of you have had some of those kind of experiences. I'm sure you have. I mean, through the Holy Spirit, there's so many different gifts and talents. And a lot of the ladies, it seems, more than the men, at least what I've, observed over the years, seem to have that particular talent and gift. Kind of an ESP or whatever. I mean, of course, all these are through the Holy Spirit. But then people get into witchcraft. Some people do, and they, it's almost like they pirate these things in a way. They steal, by working with the devil and making their deals and whatnot. But anyway, moving on. I think that was a good one, though. Interesting. But yeah, this is a really good one here, too. Yeah. About 5 minutes or so. We'll see. But yeah, let us know in the chat or even in the comments later what your experience is. If you guys foreseen things in your dreams, kind of visions and whatnot, then they come true later. I could go down a whole thing with that. My sister actually has that gift. I'm sure she still does. We don't talk about it much, but I don't really see them very much, really. But when I was younger, I knew she did. She definitely had a real gift in that way, for sure. All right, let's check some of this out. Enough about my sister.
I have literally found my simulation twin. Like, we were cut from the same cloth, made from the same template, whatever.
Oh, and here's another one. Let us know about this. Do any of you have a doppelganger? You'll see what I mean after her story, but I actually had one too. That's a whole other thing I could get into. And it's crazy because we have the same interest. We actually got in a fight over the same girl in high school at one point. He became a documentary filmmaker and a successful one, really. I don't know what he does now, but many years ago, he's putting out a lot of really good documentaries and making a name for himself. But in high school, people used to confuse us with each other sometimes, and it was a whole thing. So I knew my doppelganger. And again, pretty interesting. We went to the same field. I went to film school, moved out to LA. We actually met up. I reached out to him, I think, through social media out there, and because I knew he was out there somewhere at that time. And we met up and had a couple beers. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, it was it's a bar, I think, in Silver Lake. Bigfoot Lodge, maybe it was called. Bigfoot Lodge in Silver Lake. Somewhere in that area. But what a trip. Yeah, it's pretty, for me, it was interesting. All right, anyway, enough about me. But yeah, let us know about your experiences and check her story out. This is a good one.
You want to call it, because she is living my life out in California.
Now, this video comes from Julia Wang HTX, and she has a simulation twin. There's really just no other way to put it. And when I first heard that, I was like, okay, so you have someone in your life who lives an incredibly similar life to you. But just listen to these coincidences between her and her simulation twin, because I'm telling you, by the end of this, I was like, oh, you have a simulation twin.
Some background info. So I live in Houston, Texas. My simulation twin, her name is Caroline. She lives in California, and we've known each other for a while because we both grew up in Dallas, and so we have a lot of mutual friends. But it wasn't until recently where we discovered how similar and how eerily similar our lives are. So this is my family right here. I'm actually Korean and I'm married to a Taiwanese man, and he is a tech entrepreneur. He started several tech companies and he develops software. So our kids, we have 3 kids. They're obviously half Taiwanese, half Korean. I have Cameron. She is the oldest. She's 8 years old. Jordan, he is my middle child. And then my son Atlas, he is 11 weeks old.
Atlas.
So this is Caroline's beautiful family, and Caroline is Korean like I am, and she's also married to a Taiwanese man who happens to be in tech, and a lot of Asians are in tech, so that's not that big of a deal. But she has 3 kids, and her oldest is a girl, and then it's followed by 2 boys, just like me. And the age difference between her kids are the same as mine. So her daughter is named Charlotte. My daughter is named Cameron. Her middle son is named Jacob. My son is named Jordan. So yeah, it's not the same name, but it starts with the same letter. And then her youngest is named Chance. And while my son is named Atlas, she actually messaged me saying that Atlas was one of the names that they were considering because her son, her middle son, apparently likes maps a lot. And Atlas is not like a common name. Like no one I know is named Atlas. So the fact that she was considering that name is crazy. So we're both the oldest in our family. I have a sister. She has a brother. So my sister Nina, she went to Pratt Art School in New York. If you know Pratt, it's like a very small, hard to get into art school in New York. And her brother went to Pratt. So my husband is the only child, the golden son, and he unfortunately lost his father to cancer a couple years ago. And my simulation twin, her husband is also the only child, and he lost his mother to cancer the same year. And we both drive a minivan, and not only just a minivan, but we drive the Toyota Pacifica hybrid minivan. And what's crazy is like I actually got this minivan as part of a collab with Driveway. So the fact that she owns that is crazy. To me, this is not a coincidence. Like, we have way too many similarities and very specific similarities. And I really feel like we were like made from the same template, character template for this simulation. But I don't know, call me crazy. What do you guys think?
How crazy is that? The same kids. The kids were what really got me. They both had a daughter and then 2 sons, and the first 2 kids for both of them had the same first letter of their names, and then their babies were almost named the exact same thing. It's literally almost like Julia can get a glimpse into an alternate reality, one where she doesn't live where she does, but she's instead gallivanting off in California, but also not, because they live such similar lives. They have such a, even having even
All right, I'll go and move on. I think the rest is just commentary.
crazier ones where I will.
But I will move on. That's from Loey Bug XO on TikTok. If you like. If you're interested.
This person just went through a portal, and first of all,
This is a pretty wild one too. This lady. Let me jump ahead a little. This young lady again. Needs to be in the first.
No, wow. My kids jumped.
All right, this is really, really wild. All right, check it out. You decide, as always.
That I promise, I believe that me and my kids jumped a timeline. Cause look, y'all, I know y'all wondering why I'm laying in a hospital bed wearing the snake brace, right? So look, I was driving, coming from Walmart, me and my kids. And when I tell y'all, I take this same road in the same way every time. Like, even my daughters said the same thing, y'all. I looked down at my phone, and my daughter, she was already on her phone, playing her game or whatever she was doing on her cell phone. But I looked down, y'all, at my phone. I wasn't even looking down that long. I cannot make this up, y'all. I had looked down at my phone. I can't even really remember what I looked down at my phone to do. So I don't even know if it's I jumped the timeline or went in a different dimension or what it was. But look, y'all, I looked down at my phone. I kid y'all not. When I look back up from looking at my phone, me and my kids was somewhere else, y'all. I cannot make this shit up. I don't even know what to call it. right now, I don't even know what it is. Right now, I'm still in the shock, right? So look, y'all, when I look up, me and my kids, when I look up first. And the first thing I say is, where the fuck am I at? Like, I didn't even recognize where I was at. I was not where I was just at before I looked at my phone, y'all. I promise y'all, I was somewhere else. Like, I can't even breathe right now. It's, like, really freaking me out, right? So, look, when my kids heard me say it, like, because that's how much of a shock I was. Like, I was self-talking, but I was out loud. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Where the fuck am I at? Where is we at? Like, so my kids heard me and they look up. As soon as my kids look up, they say the same shit like, mama, where are we at? We was not just right here. Like, we was not just right here where we at. Like, we don't even know where we at. How did we even get right here? So look, y'all, I turn my GPS on and I pull somewhere the bus. First I turn my GPS on, y'all. So then when I turn my GPS on, I put my address in. I was like 30 minutes from my house. I don't even know how the fuck I even got that far. That's what the GPS said. I don't even know. So I turn in this place to do a U-turn to go back the other way, y'all. When I tell y'all, when I pull out of this place to go back the other way and I come to a stop, while I'm sitting at a stop trying to make a left turn, a car slammed into the back of me hard as fuck, y'all. I cannot kid y'all. This is why I'm in the hospital right now with this neck brace. Like, my kids are getting checked out. My youngest child, they got her in the room. So hysterical and shit.
All right, I'll go ahead and jump ahead a little here.
What's so crazy about the car is they saying they didn't even see me. It's like I just appeared out of nowhere and they didn't even know I was there until they hit the back of my shit. Y'all, was like I came through a portal or something. Either I came through a portal or they came through the portal behind me and motherfucker didn't realize, because they did not even see me until they actually impacted my car, y'all. And I was sitting there when they slammed in the back of my car, y'all. I promise y'all. So somebody help me. Fuck is going on? Like, it's like I went through a portal.
All right, I'll go move on. Interesting. You decide.
One of the craziest glitch in the Matrix stories I've ever heard has to be the one about the red lamp. This story will make you question everything you thought was real, including the life you're living right now. If you're not familiar with this story, basically 14 years ago, someone on Reddit asked if anyone had ever felt a deep personal connection to someone they met in a dream, only to wake up and realize they never existed. Well, one Reddit user, Temp2Too definitely did, and his story is something else. Now, just for context, this was all posted from a throwaway account, and the original post has since been deleted, but according to him, this all started during his senior year of college. During that last semester, he was brutally attacked by a football player nearly 3 times his size just for walking where the guy was trying to drive. But then the memory of the attack just kind of vanished. He never really thought of it again because soon he would meet a woman. She made his heart skip in the best possible way. He pursued her for months, and within 2 years they were married and she was giving birth to their daughter. 2 years after that, she gave birth to their son. So he had this picture perfect life, a wonderful job, an amazing wife, 2 beautiful kids who he absolutely adored. But one day he's just sitting on his couch when he realizes the lamp in his living room feels off. The longer he looks at it, the more it bothers him. He can't put his finger on why, it's just wrong. He becomes so fixated on this lamp that he stays up all night staring at it, doesn't sleep, doesn't move, doesn't even go to work the next morning. He just sits there trying to figure out what it is about this lamp that's messing with his head. His wife started to panic. This wasn't like him. She tried calling people, begged someone to come talk to him, snap him out of it, but he was completely gone. Nothing existed to him except for that lamp. His wife ended up up taking their kid to her mother's house, and that's when he realized the reason the lamp felt off, the reason it looked wrong, was because it wasn't real. Once he understood that, once it clicked, it was like the entire illusion started to collapse. The lamp began to grow bigger and bigger until it took up everything. His whole field of vision was swallowed by this massive wave of red. And then he started hearing voices, screams, all kinds of frantic sounds. Then came the pain, just this overwhelming, crushing pain washed over him as he slowly opened his eyes and realized he was lying on his back, on the sidewalk, surrounded by a bunch of strangers. The past 10 years, his wife, his kids, his job, his home, his perfect little life, none of it was real. He'd been knocked unconscious for several minutes following the attack by the football player, and in that short window of time, his brain created an entire life. A full decade of memories, milestones, holidays, birthdays, love, all of it just gone in an instant. Eventually, a cop helped him into the back of a car and took him to the hospital, but that was just the beginning, because for 3 years, he spiraled into depression, grieving a wife and children who never existed. Wishing he could go back, wishing he could fall asleep and see them again in his dreams, but he never did. Although the life that never existed is gone, he did say that sometimes out of the corner of his eye, he catches a glimpse of his son. The boy tries to say something, but he can never hear what it is. That story really makes you stop and wonder, what if everything you believe about your life is just an illusion? Let me know in the comments, have you ever...
That's a really good one, I think. All right. Thanks, lady. We're going to jump ahead over here, check out some...
So what happened was, I bought 2
This ring in a box. I'm like, oh, my ring fell off. No, it didn't. It's the same.
Okay, so here's one.
In a box. I'm like,
let me try to get a full screen for us.
this ring in a box. I'm like, oh, my ring fell off. No, it didn't. It's the same.
Your hands are literally.
I'm shaking. It's so weird.
Okay, that's brown.
This is a weird
Okay,
one.
Steve Brown.
Somebody said they think this is 100% edited, and this person says nope. But check this out. This is really interesting here.
What color does it look like? Still brown, like a light brown. Okay, you ready? Is that a different kind of light? What? What are those different bulbs? What is going on? Do you have different bulbs in there?
That's a neon light.
And look, you can see it changing right there.
Yeah.
And then the green.
Oh. It's so
Brown.
crazy.
A little bit more of that.
Brown. Okay, you ready? Is that a different kind of light? What? What are those different bulbs? What is going on? Do you have different bulbs in there?
That's a neon light.
Right there. That's not edited.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
Oh. It's so crazy.
We've seen a lot of these, glitch in the matrix. People try to blow it off like it's there's a term I see used all the time.
Yo, who left their shadow, bro? Like, nobody's here.
Yeah, this is a good one too. But I can't remember what they call it. I don't know, parallax, or I don't know. There's something. There's a term. But just because there's a term for something, I never even trust that a lot of times, especially nowadays. But they always try to just classify things. Oh, that's just so-and-so. Yeah, but a lot of times there's more to it, you know, I think. But anyway, let's check a little bit of this out.
Like, it's nobody's here. Who left their shadow? Come get it. It's at Planet Fitness. If you want your shadow back, it's right there. Hold on, clear. It's like you can't see, bro.
Look at that. I don't know if it's painted on there. I guess we have to trust him.
Oh, there it is.
It's a weird one. I think I remember that one from a while back. Moving on.
I'm at work right now, but I just had my first
This is a pretty crazy one too.
glitch in the matrix experience, question mark. You know, all those stories where people are like, I broke a cup, but I found the exact same cup in my cabinet later, or I'm wearing a necklace that I hadn't bought until a few months later, stuff like that. So my hair was super frizzy today, and so I put it up in this clip, right? White marble clip, I think from like Dollar Tree. But then I was at the orthodontist today, looking at my Invisalign or something, and it hurt when my head was against the
chair, so I took the clip out and I put it in my pocket. So then I'm out of the orthodontist and I'm walking to my car and I pull my keys out of my pocket, but something crashes to the ground at the same time. And so I look down and it's the clip. The clip fell out of my pocket as I pulled my keys out and landed on the ground in front of me. So I pick the clip up and I'm like, okay, whatever. And I put my hair back up really, really quick. And I get in my car and I drive off to wherever, my work. So now I'm parked outside my work, my hair is up, I turn my car off and I put my keys in my pocket, but I feel something else in my pocket. Clip was in my pocket. It was in my hair at the same time, and I only have one of them. I'm sure someone that works at Dollar Tree is gonna tell me they like came in a 2-pack or something, so I definitely had to. And sure, but then why did it fall out of my pocket? How did I put it in my hair? And then how did another one end up in my pocket is the question.
Good one. Thanks for sharing, person. Haunted TikToker. Sounds fun. Sounds fun. It's
This woman is
spooky
freaked out
season.
because she says she is stuck in a matrix.
Yeah, this is a short one. Good one, though.
Glitch.
I think I'm living in a simulation. I got this lamp a few days ago.
Okay.
And then I went to pick up my packages today, and there's another one. But that's not where it stops. I ordered a Domino's pizza today, and it arrived.
Okay.
And then an hour later, it arrived again. And I don't know what to do. I think I'm going.
Okay, there we go. I remember seeing that one not long ago. We shared that on I shared that on KJ's What Happened a few months back. It's a pretty weird one. I've seen a few times. What about you guys? But check out the reflection, and it seems to be different. So I don't know. You decide. Is this fake? I know people can AI stuff or fake stuff, so keep that in mind. But interesting one nonetheless. That's weird. Yeah, this is creepy. Look at this. I'm going to pause it. Look at that. Straight up looks like just some dude standing there with his back to her. Shapeshifters, I tell you. Spirits, I mean. Demons. Shapeshifters, they are. Yeah, look at this. What are these poor deer doing? And we know there's some serious stuff happening with wildlife. A plague almost, if you will. Man, tentacles and black horns growing out of squirrels' heads and mouths. Come on.
Why is she frozen?
Yeah, remember this?
Bro, I'm tripping. What the fuck?
I think that's, yeah, then they start throwing in some of this goofy AI stuff. Unfortunately, man, AI slop, I think. People are calling it. The youngins are calling it AI slop. But here's another one of those frozen people vids, and we've seen some of these, unfortunately, over the years. Let's try to make this a full screen. Okay, let's check this out.
Okay, guys, I don't get this.
She hasn't been moving for 5 minutes straight, he said.
Get this.
And the dog's frozen too. Isn't that weird? What? And then, what the? And then this, on this side, this girl's looking at the phone down. Dog on the ground, like the other side. I don't know. Is it fake? Is it real?
You guys see that shadow? Where? Where are the clouds? Where are the clouds? Out.
What's going on with Katy Perry? Why is she glitching? Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Make even more noise for my band.
Aw, that little one. What the? Looks like it's got two heads. Did you see that?
Keep glitching.
There it is. Can I slow this down? I don't think so. There we go. So I just kind of want to look at that. All right. Can I slow it down? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I guess not. Not much. So is the body around the other side of the tree, and it's, actually kind of wrapping around the tree like the second one? Or are we really seeing something? So let's watch. Because that was my first question when I first saw this. They both go down at the same time.
Never thought I'd see it in the wild. It's incredible. How is it so alive?
And now look. Now it looks just like a single deer, doesn't it? See? It's all by itself now, but for a second there, that happened.
Two-headed deer. Never thought I'd see it in the wild.
That's really interesting, isn't it?
How is it so alive?
There you go. All right. You decide. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a real good one. Good glitch in the Matrix example, I'd say.
I have got another incredible glitch in the Matrix story for you. Although this story, I'm not entirely sure if it's a glitch in the Matrix or a haunting. I don't know which it is, and I want to know your opinion. This story was sent in by Jason to the podcast, and it was read out on mini episode number 302 of Real Life Ghost Stories podcast. Let's get into it. Our story takes place in Rochester in Kent in 2018, and it is a quiet spring Saturday morning, and Jason is bringing his dogs for a walk at about 8 o'clock in the morning. As he's walking his dogs towards the local churchyard, he sees an old Rover 3500, a brown one, parked outside the churchyard. The car is from around the 1970s, and he sees it and immediately thinks, wow, that is a well-kept car. It is immaculate for its age. As he's approaching the car, the closer he gets, the more uneasy he starts to feel, like a really unsettled feeling in the pit of his stomach, like something just isn't right. As he approaches the car, he sees a man in the driver's seat, and this man has shoulder-length dark hair, he has a mustache, he's wearing these gold-rimmed glasses and a really wide-collared jacket. And Jason looks at him, and the man is just staring out the window straight ahead of him with a really sort of sad, faraway look on his face. Jason said that he'd gotten the impression that the man was looking at him but couldn't see him, like he was looking right through him. And in the passenger seat of the car was a woman. She had blonde hair, was wearing a white roll neck jumper, and was staring like wide-eyed, open-mouthed in absolute shock. He said that her mouth and her eyes were literally wide open, and she had that look of somebody who just couldn't believe what they were seeing. He also noticed that in the back of the car there seemed to be a child, but he couldn't really make out any details. At this point, Jason is feeling a bit weird about the whole thing. He quickens his pace and goes about his business on his walk. Can't quite understand why he's feeling unnerved, but he goes and he does about an hour's walk, and he comes back. And as he exits the churchyard, the brown rover is still there, and he immediately gets that uneasy feeling in his stomach again. And guess what? As he approached the car, the people were still in the car, still frozen in the same positions. The man is sitting in the front seat, lost, faraway look in his eyes. The woman is sitting next to him, eyes wide open, mouth wide open, in a look of shock and horror, and he can still see that there is a child in the back seat of the car. It looks to him like the people are completely frozen, like they haven't moved in the hour that has passed. Jason said that he literally could not get out of there quick enough, and since then he has wondered, did he see a time slip? Like, who were these people? What were they doing there? If this was some sort of weird practical joke, why? And what is gained by that? When I read that story on the podcast, it literally gave me the heebie-jeebies, and I want...
All right, good share. Thanks, lady. Real life ghost stories over on TikTok, if you're interested. Here's when this all came to mind also. Some of y'all remember this. Can you believe it's been like 3 years now? It's crazy. Around just over 3 years, I guess. Yeah, just over. Toronto firefighter may never know what happened on his puzzling journey across the U.S. This is just, to me, one of the most fascinating stories, real life stories I've seen. It had national coverage. This is from the CBC, Canadian Broadcast Center, I think it is. So it's a big deal. Last winter, Konstantinos Danny Philippidis went missing while on a ski trip in Lake Placid, New York. 6 days later, he reappeared across the country in Sacramento, California, with no memory of how he got there. A year later, he looks back at work as a captain with Toronto Fire Services. Doctors concluded he most likely suffered a head injury while on the slopes, but won't suffer any lasting physical damage. See, again, they don't really know, Medical experts told the Doc Project complex nature of brain injuries will make it very difficult to paint the full picture, blah, blah, blah. At one point, though, they're trying to say, let me see here. It says there hadn't been any sense of any sort of a major avalanche at the time or anything like that when he went missing, but it's a ski trip, so anything could have happened. Philippidis briefly left his friends on February 2nd, 2018 on Whiteface Mountain Ski Resort to retrieve his cell phone from his car. No one saw him on the mountain again. He believes he lost consciousness sometime shortly after splitting up with the others. He doesn't know. Let's see. His disappearance sparked a massive search. I mean, all the way across the country. Look at that map. Oops. Yeah, look at that map. I mean, straight up across the country. There's a whole bunch of speculation in this. They're trying to say that he suffered some kind of an injury, a head injury, and ended up jumping in a truck, with a trucker, and went cross country with him. And that doesn't make any sense at all. Any trucker in the right, really, it's like you're going to take some stranger that I imagine looked unwell somehow. Said, yeah, hop on in, man. I'll take you cross country with me. You little killer. You don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. So who knows exactly how it all happened. That's him. X-Files. Real life X-Files stuff. I love it. Especially when people come out okay, So yeah, there's a lot of speculation on head trauma, and all this. I don't think though. All right, let's go and move on. I'm trying to find this. There it is. Here's some of these clips right here, a little compilation of some of the celebs, quote, glitching out. Some of you guys may remember some of these. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But now you will. Remember that? That's a good one. That's a good one to save. But, and that always reminds me of, the money magic, what we see on New York City, for New York City Babylon. And she's kind of betraying the Queen of Babylon, New York City. And what if, when I first saw it, I was like, I wonder if she had a vision of the wave, But she ended up having, she was on, longer after this, but she eventually, unfortunately, succumbed to I don't remember the disease, but, she was in bad shape. Someone did a documentary on her. If you're interested, you can look it up. Documentary on Wendy. Pretty tragic. It looks like there's some people taking advantage of her or trying to, and I think she's trying. It looks like a lot of them or some of the family have her on one of those medical hold type situations, which is unfortunate when people have that used on them, right? But this one right here, oops. Just out of her mind, Macultra makes me think about, unfortunately, for her. Spooky stories, where did the time go? We'll come back to this. Let me jump back over here. We didn't see this one yet. All right, let's check some of these out.
So what happened was, I bought 2 water bottles like this. I have a little basket. I put both of the water bottles in. They were ice cold, like right out of the fridge. I opened it up and I started chugging it. Put the cap back on, set it back into my stroller, wiped my mouth because I had hella water dripping off my chin. And I'm here with like my mom and my kids, my husband, and my daughter comes out and she's like, you guys didn't pay for my stuff. So everyone starts freaking out, like, she's having like a whole little fit. I go to take another drink. I reach to grab my water and I notice that it's full still. So I grab the other water and I notice that it's full. So I'm thinking maybe the pressure from like the heat and it being open, maybe it kind of like suctioned back up and looked full. So I start trying to twist the caps open. They're both fucking sealed. I'm in absolute disbelief. So I'm thinking maybe my husband bought the same water and he took mine because it was opened already and he was just gonna like share with me. I don't like sharing drinks, and I'm hella frustrated with him. So when he came out the store, I was like, give me back my water, fool. Don't be drinking on my water like that. He was like, I don't even have a water. Like, I got a candy bar. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm in full-blown fucking panic right now, and I'm like, did anybody see me drink water? Did I actually drink water? And my mom's like, yeah, you were chugging that water. Everybody saw me drinking the water. My mouth was fucking wiped the water from my chin. Like, I know that I opened the water bottle. I just don't understand what happened, how that happened. It was just...
I'll stop there and move on. I tried to avoid the naughty words in the live shows.
Potentially glitch in timeline.
Creepy story time. She saw herself through the window. This is a good one. Shorty. Well, the video. Some of you may think her. Alright, let's check it out.
Came across this potentially glitch in timeline story, and it's freaking crazy. Creepy story time. So this girl says she works a pretty boring 9-to-5 job in a mid-sized office building. Every day she goes to the same coffee shop across the street around 2 p.m. She says she's such a regular customer that the barista Sam automatically starts making her drink the moment he sees her walk through the door. On this day in particular, she said she left her office building a little later than normal. Her usual time is 2. She left around 2:15 that day. She says as she crossed the street and looked through the coffee shop windows, she saw herself. She says they were wearing the exact same clothes that she was that day, carrying the same bag. Everything was identical. She says her double self was standing there talking to Sam at the counter. So she's frozen in place, her heart is pounding, and she just is in disbelief, like, this cannot be me. So she starts trying to rationalize it in her head, thinking, maybe it's got to be somebody else, right? Until this person turns slightly. She said she got a perfect look at this face, and it was exactly herself, down to a tiny birthmark under her eye. Her hands are shaking. She decides, nope, and she turned around and walked straight back across to her work building. I feel like I would have gone inside, by the way. She keeps telling herself this can't be real, she's just overtired or something, until she gets back inside her office and she looks inside her bag. It was the exact same coffee order she was about to order before she turned around. It even had her name written on it in Sam's handwriting. She never made it inside to order the coffee, but there it was, hot and fresh, like she just picked it up. So she looks up at the clock, and it's 2:15. She left at 2:15 and was definitely outside for longer than just a minute, and here it is, this same time when she originally left. She said it was like timelines diverged. It's like one version of her split off at 2 to go grab the coffee like she normally did, and the other version stayed behind a little longer. And then when she entered the building, the timelines merged back again. She even was questioning which one was she when the timelines seemed to have split. She said the rest of the day she just felt off, and she didn't even drink the coffee. However, she did say that she saved it and it's in her cupboard, and she wrote on it with red marker, "This came from nowhere," so that every now and then when she's really questioning herself, she can go back and look at it and remind herself that this really did happen. She just really wants to know what happened, and that's the burning question.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, if any of you in chat, or once again, maybe later in the comments section, if any of you had any of these kind of slips like this in reality, if you will, check this one out.
This video that was filmed at Disneyland has been going viral because there appears to be a glitch in the Matrix. Did you see that? The guy in the red shirt appeared out of...
So do you see this guy right there? You see where the arrow is, of course. So is it just a positioning kind of a thing, or... because they're walking for a bit, right?
And has been going viral because there appears to be...
and there he is. He's right there. So I don't know, is it the timing? In other words, is he kind of standing right in front of her, walking right now?
The video that was filmed at Disneyland has been going viral because there appears to be a glitch in the Matrix. Did you see that? The guy in the red shirt appeared out of nowhere. There was another viral video that was filmed in Avengers Campus using CGI. Now, people believe the video was edited, but this one I feel like could just be the camera angle. Let me know in the comments what you think happened.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, that's always the question with these. Is it some kind of a, veil lifting situation, or is it a positioning kind of a thing? Yeah, I don't see any. He's right there. All right, weird. Okay, go move on. You decide, as always. Clever editing, some form of illness, or just another glitch in the Matrix. And this is a really good one, too, we've seen. This is posted, January, so not too long ago. January 2025. Can you believe we're almost in holiday season? Isn't that nuts? We're at the beginning of October. Feels like it just kind of crept up. I mean, unfortunately, it's still really hot here where I'm at, but hopefully in the next week or so, it looks like it's going to chill out a little bit. Still be up in the lower 80s, but still, I'll take it. It's been hot, 90s. We've had some crazy extended summer out here, some might say. Not a fan, especially when the pool's not open over here. I mean, I still go to the YMCA, and I do. But, it's nice to be outside, get some sun, be out in the water for a little while. Anyway, enough about me. Let's check this out.
No, literally.
Wait.
What the fuck is
Babe,
going
stop
on?
cussing. Wait, she's not moving at all.
That's what I'm saying. What is going on here?
What is she looking at?
What is she doing?
That's actually really
That's
concerning.
very creepy. I don't know what's going on here. I've seen a lot of TikToks with like glitches in the Matrix, but this got to be top dog for me.
Oh my god.
No, seriously, this is a glitch. Like, no one is standing that perfect with their legs crossed. I'm just being.
Look at this guy.
I want to see if
Didn't the other ones have their legs
Look at
crossed?
it.
I think they did.
Is no one noticing this? Look, is no one seeing this? What is going on? Look, even
That's
looking.
crazy.
No, she's looking. Look.
Hey, dude, you good?
What?
Yeah, there we go. Started moving then. Isn't that crazy? Right at the end.
What is going on? Look, even
That's
looking.
crazy.
No, she's looking. Look.
You good? I think it's a lady, actually.
What?
Or is it a dude with a man bun? Anyway, see if there's any more in this thread. Let's see. No. Nah. Okay, move on. Interesting, though, isn't it? Isn't it? Man, this is a classic. This is one of the best. I would rate this as probably one of the best examples of so-called glitch in the Matrix, or veil lifting, or time slip. I don't know, but you decide. But this really is a good example. This was posted 3 years ago. Really good one. Wait, let me take a look at something. Okay, we should be good.
Live in the metaverse.
So the craziest shit happened to me earlier. So, okay, there was a glitch in the system. I'm gonna show you guys a video, okay? So in this video, you can see me grabbing a lemon, right? I cut it in half, and then I cut it in half once more, right there. You can see me cut it, right? I go get a bag. Okay, I grab the bag. I go back for the lemon, and I grab the lemon, and I touch it, and I'm like, why is it not cut in half? In my face, I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like inspecting it. I take it out of the bag. I grab this lemon, trying to see if I cut that one. I recut the lemon because the lemon wasn't cut anymore. I'm freaking out because the lemon was not cut in half anymore. It was literally intact. And you can see me in the video cut the lemon in half. There was a glitch. This has never happened to me, and I don't know how to act. I'm freaking out. I'm going to play the video.
Yeah, that's a good one. You guys can go look that up if you want to see that one a few times. But yeah, that's one of the more wild examples. 3 years ago, too. This is more Matrix glitches incoming, it says. Let's check a little bit of this out from this young feller, if you will.
This phone shows an alternate dimension. Now, we all should remember Tom Cruise's legendary dance scene from Risky Business, right? But let me ask you, is he wearing sunglasses in this scene? Clearly no sunglasses, but then why does every pop culture parody of this scene show them wearing sunglasses? Well, let's try using the cell phone on this scene.
Yeah, what do you guys think before we see the cell phone? He uses these old phones. It's a Palm. But many of us, especially Gen X, remember that movie, Risky Business. And I swear he always had sunglasses. That was my memory of it. What about y'all? Let us know in the chat messages. What, didn't he have sunglasses? He came out in his whitey tighties, in an Oxford shirt, and sunglasses, and that was it, and socks, and did his little, karaoke thing or whatever. But I swear, I remember black sunglasses, Ray-Bans. See, look at that.
Looks like...
That's crazy if that's real. I don't know. Again, that's a whole other thing. But this guy, I think he's the main guy that does it, but he uses these old phones, looks at screens of whatever things are, and then it shows different imagery. So, I mean, of course it could be fake these days. Is it real? It's an example of the veil lifting, glitch in the Matrix, or is it a bunch of BS?
Like sunglasses to me. Now, there's also those who remember the old classic Mickey Mouse with suspenders, and those who remember him without suspenders. Let's see what the phone says. And there's those who swear that Shaggy from Scooby-Doo had an Adam's apple. The phone shows an Adam's apple, but our current reality says no. Okay, this is too fun. Just one more. So clearly here we see that Curious George from the Curious George books has a tail. But if you look at what the phone's recording, there's no tail there. Stay tuned for more.
Stay tuned for more. Like, share, and subscribe. Right? Says this guy can prove we are 100% living in a simulation. Watch till the end.
I remember things very vividly from a very young age. When I was a little kid, I actually spent a lot of time with my grandparents. My grandfather was a nuclear physicist. I remember he was telling me about black holes. And that terrified me.
I was like, that's just mind-boggling. It's a monster, right?
But at the same time, it fascinated me. And I said to myself, how do we know that? This unthinkably massive thing. I realized that nature doesn't keep secrets. It's only a matter of, do we understand it? Was the tool that led me to the discovery.
But then I showed other people,
He's
and
got show
things kept
footage.
getting weirder.
Here it is.
Just for the record, I haven't told him anything. Okay, just tell me what you see.
Oh my god, come on. Wow, what the fuck? Holy shit. I just saw something. Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, I see that. I feel it.
I've been under the influence of mind-altering substances a lot, but I've never seen anything like that. Whoa.
I showed over 100 people, and I kept asking myself, how are all of us seeing the same thing?
Oh my god. It's changing shapes right there.
The laser was revealing numbers and letters running in a pattern.
Pyramids like this big here, and it looks like code.
It looked like programming code.
They show it.
It's definitely saying something, Pam. I just want to take a picture of it and translate it. Wow. You see that?
Okay, so yeah, it's not stuck.
No.
It's not because of the light.
No, it's on its own side. Light is just literally revealing it.
And each angle shows you different layers, different ways through it.
I can see through the wall. It's not like a hallucination. It has spatial awareness and permanence.
I don't know. Whoa.
For centuries, mankind has attempted to explore these psychedelic, altered states, but we've never had a repeatable, testable phenomenon to observe until now.
I'm obsessed. It's like you can see through the laser into another dimension.
I mean, like, take yourself to that. Like, I just made a connection that nobody made before, which is...
All right, I'll go and move on. It's kind of trippy. I'd like to see more of the camera in there and see what they're seeing. What we saw was pretty interesting. Looked like some kind of coding. Here's another one of those. Man, this is just kind of a really crazy one. Little fun, little wacky. Reminds me of a skit, but not really, because there's real consequences here. But another dude just kind of glitched out in the road here, and watch what happens. I'll play it a few times here. Oops. Just kind of backs out. Time to go. NPC, move. Move away. Bad thing, bad thing. Alright, there we go. I want to share that. Odd one. Hopefully everybody seems to be okay, at least, for the most part. Man, this is a really good one, too. I mean, I think an awesome example of a, quote, glitch in the Matrix. Check this out. And this is pretty recent. I shared this on a KJ's What Happened, I know not long ago. Within the last month, I'd say, we saw this.
Actually looks like you. Yeah. Oh my god. Actually looks like you. Yeah. Actually looks like you. Yeah.
The little boy noticed.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'll go and move on. I think that was it. Yeah. That's the main one I wanted to show. But that was a good one. Weird, right? Here's another strange one. A Turkish fisherman films square waves. It's only 8 seconds of footage. I'll let it play a few times, but clearly some of these shots look like square waves. That. Weird, right? It's strange. And I worked out, I was blessed enough, I'd say, to, when I was in the Coast Guard, my first unit was in Kodiak, Alaska on a boat, on a buoy tender. We worked in the Bering Sea. Crazy life there for a while. A couple years worth. And this one is from maybe 4 years ago, a little older, but still kind of boggles the mind. What do you think about this?
Alors, c'est comme un mystère. Un arbre qui transperce une voiture de part et d'autre. C'est vraiment mystérieux. Il y a du monde autour. Je suis à côté. Je ne comprends rien. On ne sait vraiment pas ce qui s'est passé. Voilà la voiture traversée et l'arbre qui déborde en bas de la voiture. En bas de la voiture, on voit la souche de l'arbre là-bas. Voilà. Et on ne sait pas comment cette voiture en est arrivée là. C'est incroyable. Alors, c'est un miracle. C'est incompréhensible. Au-delà de tout entendement, oui. Moi, je voyais des gens assemblés, je ne voulais pas prendre. Après, quand je regarde, je dis, c'est mystérieux ça. Voilà. Incroyable, un arbre, comme vous pouvez le voir, qui transverse la voiture de part et d'autre, traverse jusqu'au siège qui est transversé.
It's in the seat, right through the center seat.
Voilà, il rentre dans le siège, la source du siège, c'est comme un miracle ça. Et là, vous le voici.
Whoa, it's a good one because, like, look, there's limbs up there, leaves, so it didn't slide down. You know, it's one of those weird physics, 1 in a zillion chance things. Here's a really strange one too. 10 seconds. I'll play it a few times, but it looks like this bird is caught up in something. Is it glitching out or something else? Weird, right? Poor bird. Hoping that turned out good, of course. Times there were glitches in the Matrix. It's a little bit of a compilation, short one, it's a minute long. Let's check this out.
So we're walking through the city, right?
Right.
Look at this.
Right.
Big building up there. Big building down here. And what happened, Mr. Drifter? Lost it. Huh? What happened?
What the?
Everybody knows something's up. Everybody knows. That is not normal.
Trying to see what they're looking at. I guess that. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see a straight line. I think it gets more clear in a second. But you can see straight line right there. See?
Everyone is looking up, wondering why the sky is split.
Look at that.
Look.
Seen some of those in the past. So this is a newer one. But where there's some geoengineering. You might think something like that. Along those lines, obviously something unnatural, let's say, happening.
Sky is broken. And everybody knows something's fishy, don't you? Fishy, ain't it?
Fishy, ain't it?
You know, that's the first time I ever seen you.
That's right.
Las palabras de las brujas, los secretos escondidos en la noche.
Eek. That scares me. It's pretty crazy. Look at that. The ants. Again, oh yeah, there was a lot of videos of the ants going in circles also. It says, here's another one of the airplanes. So, no, that's just a Blah, blah, blah. Nothing to see here. And if it was just nothing to see, everything's cool, it's like, how come we didn't start seeing or hearing about this until maybe the last 5-ish years? I'm thinking. It's just, it's normal. It's been around forever. It's like, no, I don't remember ever hearing or seeing anything like that until the last few years. Says this is not the sun. What this lady's talking about is the change in the sun. I think I can attest to that. Again, I had my issue with the sun this summer, an overabundance of whatever it was putting out.
Minecraft sun. It looks like a digitized sun. Does anyone else? Does the sun look like this to anyone else? Hold on. Okay, stop. Am I crazy? That is not a sun. Look at it. I can't zoom anymore.
We've seen a lot of these.
This is not the sun. I am 41 years old. I have never seen the sun look like this. Am I crazy? Do you not see the little, like, am I crazy?
So I wanted to share that because it's another one that, and I did a video and I put some of these in there. Multiple, I think. Like one of the compilation things. Because there's a period of time there are people, again, like maybe a month stretch or so. They probably still are, in some places. I'll have to look. But recording the sun and also the moon, weird things happening with both, which reminds me from the Bible, signs in the sun, moon, and stars. So always keep that in mind. Always looking up, always leaning into the Lord, always trusting in Jesus. Again, if you haven't accepted that free gift of salvation, please do. I'm not a preacher, pastor, priest, or prophet, so I can't preach to people. I can't evangelize, and I know all the things I can't really do, but I love Jesus more than anything, and I just want to share, and I know that, he's the answer to all, Trust me or not. But I'm not the only one. There's a bunch of us. Anywho, I'll go ahead and move on from that. But yeah, there's a lot of those footage of it's like that, see? People shooting it there. It's pretty. I'm going to save that. It's a good one. It's a good picture. Yeah, see a lot of people filming real wild stuff with the sun. Look at that. It's crazy. It almost doesn't look real. All over the world, people filming the sun looking different. Some of y'all remember that. You can go look it up. Is it Nibiru? Is the second sun? Here's another one. Look at that. It's straight up just like sitting there, it looks like. Where it is.
My God, why are y'all... I am taking a video. Oh my God, why are y'all...
That is pretty crazy. Just totally hovering. Wild stuff. Wacky wild stuff. Man, this is one of my favorites. This has been for years because it never came out to be fake or anything like that. Because usually if you wait it out, the people want to get credit for all those views. And, I've noticed that over the years, just following these weird subjects, fringe subjects as I do, that eventually it'll come out. If someone's BSing something, eventually they're going to want their name out there and get a little recognition, I've noticed. Anyway, nothing's ever come out of this. This is from November 2021. And yeah, this is a really good one, man. All right, so let's check it out. This is actually it.
Hey, so out me.
This was right around Halloween. Or right after. This was November 2nd. So right after Halloween. Posted this. It's pretty short.
Hey, so out making deliveries, and what is this? There's a floating broom. Look, it's just floating. Like, seriously. There's no wire, there's nothing it's connected to. It's... What is that? Seriously. It's just and it's moving too.
It's vibrating. Did you see that? Play it again.
Hey, so out making deliveries, and what is this? There's a floating broom. Look, it's just floating. Like, seriously. There's no wire, there's nothing it's connected to. It's... What is that?
I wonder if it's connected to Halloween. Some kind of sorcery.
Seriously. It's just and it's moving too.
Look at that. Straight up vibrating. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite captures over the years. What's that? From a few years back. I'm glad it's got some staying power. Here's that floating limb or whatever from the palm tree. Somebody, there's an actual name for it. I saw it earlier from y'all. This person says she might be stuck in a time loop, but also, you know, maybe she has OCD. Some people like really suffer from that in a in a way that manifests in ways like this, perhaps. Throwing that out there as a possibility.
Guys, this girl keeps repeating the same thing over and over. She's going to get out of her car. Watch her. She's done this 3 times. She's going to get out of her car. She's going to walk around the front. She's going to go get in the passenger side. All right, watch her. This is super creepy. I don't know if it's like a glitch or what. Now she's going to get out, and she's going to walk around the back of the car. Okay? She's going to walk around the back of the car, and then she's going to get in. She's done this 3 times.
Someone said NPC.
She does it every 10 minutes. I'm just sitting in the parking lot. Now she's going to look to the right, and then she's going to go. Now, whenever she leaves, she's going to go over here, and then she's going to take a right and leave out of the parking lot. Like, the first 2 times, what is going on? Now she's going to go, and she's going to go to the highway over there. She goes out to the highway over there, takes a right, and then heads back.
Yikes. Okay, I'd say that's a little more than OCD. He may even want to, I don't know, go try to talk to her. Stop her as she's getting out. Say, excuse me, ma'am. You know, just kind of stop her for a moment if you could. I don't know how safe that'd be, but pray about it, you know. Be led, if you will. Let's see if I can get a full screen on this one. Alright, solar eclipse glitch, if you will.
That goes by the name of Big Daddy VO 1037 on Facebook captured something really strange during the solar eclipse that happened recently. Check this out.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, please don't think I'm crazy. I promise you I'm not. Well, not totally crazy anyway. So, it's currently 3:05 in the morning. And scrolling through other people's videos. ABD. And I was watching videos of the eclipse, and I saw this.
Emotional right now. Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna zoom in and I'm gonna play it again. What was that? I'm gonna zoom in more and slow it down this time.
Whoa.
What was that? If it was a solar flare, why did it come straight out of the moon? Why does it look like a window opening up? And why is there smoke coming out? Again, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Alright, sir. Thanks for your contribution. Thanks for your time. Something to think about.
Dude, so many
I got a
people
really cool video tomorrow for KJ's what happened on somebody filming the sun. There's something real weird. An anomaly happening up there. Man, that's one of those things I should have got a long time ago. That'd be a really fun thing to do because where I'm at, you can actually see the stars at night. You know, so is get a little telescope. That's something I should have done a long time ago. Because I love just going out and just looking up at the stars, you know. But I mean, might as well try a telescope. Can't be that crazy to find one out there. Reality glitches caught on camera. It says so many people are pulled over right now to look at the moon. So yeah, again, sun signs in the, to me, sun, moon, and stars. Check this out.
right now to look at that freaking moon. Why is it so close to the Earth?
Look at that.
What is happening right now? That girl doesn't look. Why is the moon so close to the Earth?
The paper, magnet, mirrors reflect, right? They reflect what it can see. Now, if that's true,
Yeah, what do y'all think about these?
explain the
A lot of people post these videos. I've noticed. I was sharing some of these like 2 years ago. There are a lot of them are on TikTok where people are doing this thing with mirrors and they're trying to show, you know, why is it you can see on the other side. So there's a couple different schools of thought here, but what do you guys think? We'll finish this here.
this to me. How does the mirror reflect something it can't see? I don't understand this at all. How does it?
For real though, think about it, right? This is something, again, a lot of people have been putting videos up like this over the last few years, showing examples. But what do you think? Right? How does the mirror know what's on the other side of that paper? That's the question.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Somebody explain it.
Why she froze it there? Bro, I'm tripping. What the fuck?
What the?
Forgot this guy cusses a whole lot on this one. Oh, it's the moon. It's the mirror. That's, oh, see, here's another person glitched out.
Tripping. What the fuck?
What the?
How do they slice hot dog buns? Not all the way through, but also keep them connected. Like, how are those two sliced? I don't understand how that works.
Alright, so there's a little bit of a goofy one, fun one at the end there. I'm okay with that. TikTok. Spooky stories. Where did the time go? Did we see her earlier? I think we did. Sorry. Alright, check this out. This is a really good one too. Check this out. Is it an optical illusion, or did the ball just kind of straight up disappear? You've got a little child here. Maybe it was Christmas time, it looks like, with the tree. Playing with a little stick and knocking a ball around. But watch the ball closely. One more time. You see where it went? Or did it just boof? Where is it? Right? Just a fun one?
Most of y'all know how I feel about my neighborhood, right? And how it's a fun.
Now, this is another one. Unfortunately, they cuss a whole lot, but it's a short clip either way. But really, just look at the houses. And I need to go look it up sometime. Because they made a movie just maybe, again, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Is about a couple that move into a neighborhood where everything looks the same. There's no other people. But everything looks the same like that. It's like everything's, you know, it's like a Twilight Zone type movie. Had Jesse Eisenberg in it, if you know who that is. So she's talking about, though, how the houses look the same and everyone has a white car. Which is odd, right? And they're different. SUVs, vans, cars, and they're all white. And all their houses look the same. See, I just personally wouldn't like that. That's just me. You know, some people like community and things like that, I guess, more as far as living close with people. And, you know, it's no offense to humans or anything, but I would rather be, you know, a little further away, quieter, easier to think. It's time to think, place to think, nature, beauty, not a lot of noise, not a lot of pop-ins. I don't like pop-ins. People just popping in at you. Hey, thought we'd drop by, brought a deck of cards. Let's play some Uno. This brings us to the last clip. It's only 7 seconds, but it's another clip of somebody glitched out in public. I'll play it a few times here. Even though it's weird, I just noticed, and you know, what do you think? But even her profile looks really weird, doesn't it? It doesn't look natural. Take a look at the profile on this girl. Doesn't it? Like, to me, I mean, is that demon face syndrome? Is that what we're looking at here? I don't know the young lady, but it doesn't. Her face doesn't look normal, does it? Look at that. See what I mean? Am I right? Am I wrong? Can I slow this down? Oh yeah. No, I can't. It's already at its... Oh. Only a little bit, so it's not enough. But yeah, I mean, it plays out. But look, it doesn't look like a normal profile of some young girl. It looks like to me, it looks like a demon face syndrome. And you know, it's not like I say demon face syndrome. It's everywhere. It's not like that either. But I do look for it. I know it's a real thing. I know it happens. And it's just that's another veil lifting type thing, I believe. That, you know, more and more people are recording these things, revealing themselves. But this young lady looks glitched out. And then on both angles... Oops, even on that very last one. Oops, trying to pause it. There we go. But look at that, even that. That doesn't look like a normal profile, does it? It looks flat. Like, where's the nose? I don't see a nose. I see the eye. And like a black orifice for the mouth. But I don't see a nose anywhere. Do you? Just saying, this is just observations on the spot. Didn't think about this earlier. Just noticing, just thinking about it, and knowing that, you know, this stuff happens sometimes with recordings, even in real life. But yeah, from both angles, it was the same thing. Look at that. I don't see a nose. Doesn't look normal, does it? Looks like a demonic face, like a big black eye and then a black kind of mouth. Anyway, there you go. You decide. But I think that's one I'm going to save for later. Somewhere else. Just in case. All right, good one. All right, man, you know what? That was actually the last clip, which brings us to the end of the show. So where are we at? 7, 8, 9. Whoa. So 2 hours, 45 minutes. Man, got 606 people here. Hey, man, thank you guys so very much for hanging out, man. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate you guys being here. It's a great energy. We always have really great live shows, I believe. Not just toot my own horn here, but beep, beep. It's really y'all. We have a great family here, great community. Thank you all just for being you. So amazing. And thanks for all the support. Always, I need the support from the folks. So subscribe star is great. If you don't mind, could definitely use the support there. And for all that do, thank you so much that do and hang in there with me. Thanks for the Rumble Wells and all who support the videos and shows in whichever way. And speaking of which, Ryan MC, thank you, man, for that very kind and generous donation. Says, you said you're not a minister, but you're sharing the truth and the gospel every stream. This channel is your ministry, and I'm here for it, brother. Put on the full armor of God every day. Man, thank you so much. I love it. I appreciate that. Because I do, of course, I say that all the time, but also in my heart, my prayer to him is always that I'm helping, that it's, and I know that I do on different levels. I know that through the years, and, but yeah, he gave me just kind of a lowly spirit in a lot of those ways, for real. But I'm not trying to fake it or anything. I'm really just kind of that way. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes, it's always my prayer. I know I'm a warrior for him in so many ways. I asked him long ago to know how he saw me. Anyway, don't want to get into that. But yeah, so, but I still need to be reminded of that. Sometimes I just shrink a lot. But for sure, man, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you for being here. Let me jump over here to the chat with y'all and let's throw a little background up here, something nice. This is a cool one. It's a good chill one. All right, and there we are. Jump over here with you guys. Good to see you. Hey, Tamara, thanks again so much for all of you who were so kind and generous tonight, sending donations through the live chat. Thank you so very much, man. I really appreciate you. Always like to comment to you here in chat, let you know. And just, thank you, man. Thank you. Very kind, very cool. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ghostly World. Just saw that. Thank you. I think it was Ghostly World or MD or MBD831. Thank you. Thank you. Selena Tobeth, you too. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out. Always good to have you. Don't forget, tomorrow here on this YouTube channel at 2 p.m. Central Standard, we've got KJ's What Happened, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check it out. I hope you can make it. We get a great crowd there also, a really great community, of course. Don't forget, if you ever need prayer for anything, please let us know in the chat during the shows. Once again, it's not a religious thing. I don't do a religious show. I'm not a preacher, pastor, priest, prophet, as I always say. But totally love Jesus. He's my numero uno, my number one, my everything. And, we have to share. And he's given me this platform, also blessing me through all of you. So please do support the videos and shows once again if you can. Appreciate it. And let me say a prayer, too, for us before we go. Heavenly Father, first and foremost, thanks again for all these wonderful people that are here and that listen later, and just the community, the family, so many prayer warriors here. So thanks for all of that, of course. And, thanks for the platforms, obviously. And I just pray you stay with us during all of these times. Help us, all of us, to be seed planters, to help the kingdom while we're here. Give us the strength, the courage, the endurance, the guidance, the wisdom. And just thank you for utilizing us, all of your children while we're here, and to help. I pray we all escape the horrors coming upon this earth, as we're told to do. And just thanks again for all the blessings you provide. You're always there for us. We love you. I pray that anybody listening to these shows tonight or later that haven't accepted you, that they have an encounter with you, and that they realize how real and true you are, and just to get as many people on the boat as possible. So thank you, Father. We love you, and in Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, you guys. Thank you, man. Thank you. so much. Danny Turner at 100%, man. Palsy's gone. And let me tell you something crazy about that. I think I'm going to post it tomorrow for KJ's What Happened. I'm pretty sure I put it up as a bookmark. I was watching this show earlier. This guy was talking about, he's a Christian, he's a brother in Christ, talking about something. He's got a platform and he speaks truth, speaks for Jesus, but talking about spiritual warfare and how his family had been undergoing some attacks recently. And then out of nowhere, he mentions that his wife had suddenly got Bell's palsy. And I took a step back, like, what? Yeah, man. See, it really came on to me real fast, too, like that. And I knew it was a weird spiritual attack because I got 4 loud bangs on my door that night just as I was falling asleep. And I knew it wasn't people. It takes, it's not easy to get up where I live, and you can't just jump up here and then run away and hide somewhere. It's like you got to walk quite a bit. So it wasn't that. I've had some weird spiritual things happen here before, so I just kind of knew. It was almost like, I don't know, like them just letting me know. Maybe they were mad. They didn't get what they wanted to do, or just letting me know it was them or something, But I never fear any of that stuff. I always pray, of course, against it and for protection. And I told you guys the choking story there. I had some choking situations at night from them a long time ago, years ago. And I still at night pray out loud protection against that, just so they hear. I feel I was instructed to do that. Anyway, I'm rambling. I do still want to do a live show some night and just share all my supernatural encounters, just so I can document everything. So I don't start forgetting things, and just put it out there. And again, it's not trying to act like I'm special or better than anybody or nothing like that, because we all have our own walk with the Lord and different experiences. But I've certainly had, my share of really wild, interesting, I believe, supernatural experiences with the enemy and also, with the Lord. So most of you who follow me for a while know about these, but I'll do that sometime. But anyway, enough about me. Celia, Mo Griff, good to see you, man. Coulter, Relestia, John Boy, Lee Steele, Christine Ritchie, Subversive, Justin Bundy, good up, what's up? M Dude, Selena Tobeth, Red Dark Side. Yeah, says Halloween special. You know what I will do? Because I don't celebrate Halloween for obvious reasons, and most of y'all don't. But I do like spooky season. I went to film school. I have a degree in screenwriting. I moved to Hollywood to sell horror and sci-fi scripts. But, I was into monster toys when I was a little boy. So the Lord made me the way I am to do the kind of work I do, as odd as it might be to some people. So I'm with all that. So, but I do still, love doing a good creepy eclipse show. So in the next few weeks, I'll definitely do a live show on a Friday night. Maybe even next Friday we'll do it, because we're in October now. Best creepy clips of the year of 2025. And I'll show you everything I've got. I've got so many bookmarks with so many, folders with videos and just, so I can find some really great stuff, man. And we'll do that. Does that sound good? Do a creepiest clips show. I've done them throughout the years. Probably did one. I'm pretty sure I did one in 2024. Might be wrong. I have to look it up. Either way, I'll do one soon, man. It'll be fun. MD831, thanks. Good to see you. Ghostly World, Boris, WCMW, and Fab, Scotsman. Endless Curiosity, John Mirth. Such an encourager. Thanks, man. ZZ Buttons. Oh, yeah, ZZ says one on a movie list, horrors and thrillers. Gosh, I could definitely provide you with one, man. I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of... And, in fact, tonight, October 3rd, they released a bunch. And one of them I'm looking forward to is VHS Halloween, which is the new one, which they released tonight. It's on Shudder, Shudder. But over the last few years, they do these VHS... They're compilations from really great new directors, and they're all horror stories. And there's always a kind of story thread where they found these VHS tapes somewhere, and they watch them, and then all this stuff happens. But yeah, man, they're pretty cool. But the new one's it's getting a lot of good reviews, and people like it. So, you're welcome, Tamara. Thank you. Fanta, too. Good to see you. Thanks. Man, MDB831, thanks for all that time. Sojourner for Christ, nice to see you, too. Thanks for the thumbs up, you guys, and for the shares and all that stuff, man. I know I don't really say that a lot, but thank you. Thanks again, you guys. Okay, hey, I'll let y'all go for the night. So tomorrow, right here on YouTube, KJ's What Happened, 2 p.m. Central Standard. Hope you can be here, live show. But thanks again. Love you guys, man. Love hanging out with you. Thanks again, Tamara. Always appreciated. Always, okay? And y'all have a good night. Have a good evening. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. And thanks again. All right? I look forward to hanging out more tomorrow. See you later.